Welcome back, everyone, to Swim or Sink 60. It is I, Matt Gabriel II, and I am joined by none other than Butter.
What's up, everyone? So this is my first time commentating on, well, Sink or Swim, and I'm honestly really excited to see what everyone's going to be bringing today. How about you?
I am super excited. It's always a fun time watching and commentating all that.
So bringing us on today, starting us teams, we're going to be watching Apocalypse versus Big Banana. Personally, I haven't heard of either of these teams.
I have not either, although, yeah, none of the players or the teammate look familiar, so this is going to be super exciting. We won't have any expectations to what they're bringing to the table.
I'm personally hoping from Apocalypse to at least see a bucket. With that amazing design for a logo. You can't be not bringing a bucket into this.
Yes, it would be quite sad if they forewent the bucket.
But I am really excited for this match and can't wait for it to get underway.
Yes, indeed. Now, I do believe I'm just looking at the first round to see what kind of map modes we got coming up. Looks like our first one's going to be Zones on Mart, a fan favorite.
Very nice open map, especially, well, as we're going to be going off of the logo, a really good map for sloshers, a lot of open and, well, vertical areas to play around that weapon.
Yes, indeed, and quite a few little niche crannies to hide from potential longer range weapons, so it's definitely good for being able to navigate the map without too much trouble. And like you said, those vertical surfaces will definitely favor some of the bucket players.
Definitely. And just overall, a really great map for any type of weapon involved, especially for those slayers and painters, just allowing for that openness to get that paint on the ground, get your special up, and get it out really quickly, but along with having those tight and confined spaces for those quick battles to happen that can easily decide a match.
For sure, for sure. And with this particular mode, since we are on zones, the zone itself is a rather odd shape compared to a lot of other zones maps.
Definitely, especially since it's right below the drop of the platforms. It can lead to very interesting plays, whether it be from popping bubbles above the zone to just a classic rain push to really just about anything. It allows for such open play and for varied play compared to any other map.
And I would agree with you. Bubbles and rain are definitely very strong on this map, but due to some of the vertical surfaces, especially that pillar right in the middle, Booyah Bomb could be a little bit hard to aim properly in order to get the maximum amount of paint out of it.
Definitely is, though don't count it off immediately, as it's amazing for getting people out from their the back area right below the drop from spawn. It can easily stagger any push, and it's just the definition of why Booyah Bomb is such a great tool for stopping pushes or just starting them.
Very true, very true. It can put on a lot of pressure, and it can just pick off people when they're least expecting it because of the thin walls and objects.
Definitely. Next, I'm personally really hoping to see a Squiffer on this map and mode, just because I'm a personal real big fan of the fresh Squiffer, and especially with its verticality and the suction bomb with this, it can easily do a really amazing job at just stalling the enemy and keeping them in their base and not allowing them to get their special and get that mid push.
Agreed. And it's funny you mentioned the fresh Squiffer. I was actually going to mention the Inkjet is going to be pretty strong on this map as well. I've been seeing a lot of Inkjet, especially in the swimmer sink tourneys. And I think with the amount of ledges on here, and so how easy it is to get into the enemy base with the Inkjet, it'll definitely put on a lot of pressure.
Definitely, especially on this map, using the verticality, it's an immense tool for any amount of pressure, and it just, as soon as it goes up, it has to be focused on.
Looks like we're going to be hopping into our first match very soon. You were saying you were looking for the fresh Squiffer. I think Nautilus is also a good pick, also bringing in the suction bomb and Inkjet. But we do see neither, though we do see the bucket and a couple of bubbles coming out.
Very interesting comps from both sides. The double zap being run from Team Big Banana, as we're going to be seeing Team Big Banana right here going into mid, getting that early zone, or at least trying to contest that early zone right now, as they are just keeping that pressure on, getting their special off, early armor and early missile, though their K-Rapid does go down, stop really delaying their push, except it doesn't, as they go in, find those 2 kills, and use that to their heavy advantage right here, as they just keep pushing and getting that special up. Bomb rush coming out from the Splash-O-Matic, as they just keep on pushing, getting that paint on the ground, and stopping them from topping Team Apocalypse and pushing into that mid right there. An amazing push and amazing stall.
Yes, I'm a big fan of this team comp we got going on here with the triple shooters with the double zap and the splash. They're going to have a lot of paint to work with, and then having that rapid just in tow, being able to put on some pressure with both the chip damage and the extra range is definitely going to be a strong team to go up against. But we do see Purple coming in to control the zone now, with just ticking down, about to get that lead. But with missiles and other specials are coming out, it's going to be contesting the zone here.
As we're gonna see right here, the Apocalypse trying their desperate to hold this mid right here. The squeezer goes down, but they are able to take out both of the end zaps and completely stop the push from Big Banana and continue their own push, getting that score, taking that lead right here, holding that mid position, an amazing stall, and they're continuing to do so, getting the special ready as you see this bucket right here, holding that zone, getting the free pick on the end zap right there, stalling that zone, bomb rushing in, doing an amazing job at stalling. Team Big Banana can barely take the zone here, and even since they do, they're taking heavy losses.
That's for sure. That Junior on the side of Apocalypse really doing a good job of just supporting its team and putting on a lot of pressure on the mid area. Those bombs just making the zone a hot spot. But we see the bubbles coming out, hoping to stall out the zone a little bit longer. But we do see 2 members of Purple going down. That being said, the Bamboo doing a lot of work trying to take out that member before they go down themselves.
As Team Big Banana is now back in control, holding that mid perfectly, using all their paint to their advantage, forcing that junior on the other team to work overtime right now, getting their trying to counter their paint. 30 seconds is left on that clock 30 points is left right there as Team Apocalypse is forced to start going in headfirst as the rest of Team Big Banana knows this as they're popping their specials, getting the paint on the ground, and that's going to be an easy KO.
Yeah, that was quite unfortunate. We saw 2 members of Apocalypse go down near the end there, and then it's just a delayed wipe with 20 seconds left on the clock. So it was going to be Big Banana for the first match here.
Big Banana coming out with the heavy paint comp, and especially on this type of map with the amount of close quarters and open areas to get paint on the ground and do combat in close quarters, it was really hard for Team Apocalypse to get back in, get that paint on the ground, and counter out all of their painting power.
Yes, indeed. And although they had the slight range advantage because of all the close quarter fights in this map, the extra paint was able to give Big Banana the advantage here. We will be going on to our next match, though, Inkblot Art Academy on tower control. What are your thoughts on this?
Definitely a lot more open of a map, especially compared to something like Mako Mart. But it's going to be very interesting to see if Team Big Banana continues to go for that double zap comp, for that armor missile combo, and allowing, really in this scenario, would be an amazing pick for them, just about for how wide and open the map is, just for getting their special out quickly and allowing the rest of their team to work around the paint that they're giving.
That is true. Having that extra paint on this map is going to be super handy. But I also say that having the double bomb would also be very handy. With tower control, the more bombs you have, just the more pressure you're able to put on the tower from a distance.
Definitely, a bomb is worth 1,000 players, especially since you can just throw that one off, and that's either they have to hop off or face the penalty of dying. And honestly, it's an amazing tool just for stalling out any type of push, because realistically, a player can't really survive a bomb without armor. So
that is so true. Now, if we do see like the bamboo and the squeezer come out again from Apocalypse, they may be hard pressed to take control of mid, because it is such a wide open space. Having that extra range might be the deciding factor in this case.
Going on to the map, get a nice overhead of the opener. 52 and Rapid Pro coming out from Big Banana. Very interesting pick right here. The Rapid Pro being a very new weapon in being played very recently. And it's a really oppressive weapon. And let's hope to see it if we can see it here.
Now, if I read that correctly, I think the Deco has armor, so they might be running a double armor comp, which is not a bad way to go. They are keeping the double zap, and having that extra, or the 52 would just provide some booyah support and pressure.
Team Apocalypse taking an early lead right here, getting that wipe, forcing the rest of Team Big Banana to come off of their spawn, allowing the rest of their team to paint up and get their specials ready for that retake, bringing it past checkpoint 1, reaching checkpoint 2 already as that Squeezer is getting their bubbles off, stopping the Team Big Banana from pushing even sooner, getting the kill on the armor and zap. Missiles are coming out from Team Big Apocalypse, finding their 52 gal as the bucket just keeps on going here, finding the Deco too as they reach checkpoint 3. This might be an early KO.
Yeah, they really have the momentum in their favor here. They're just a few points away from that KO with no checkpoint standing between, and that's 3 down for the side of Big Banana.
Team Apocalypse scrambling to get on that tower, bringing it, and we're gonna be seeing a KO in the second round. Team Apocalypse coming back from the last map, saying to heck with it with their paint and going full force, full throttle, full slaying power, and it worked out amazingly for them.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with how strongly a performance Apocalypse put on it, considering the last match was pretty much back and forth with a lot of control of zone from both sides. But once Apocalypse got control of the tower, they just moseyed right on into the enemy base and took out the checkpoints with ease.
Finally, going on to our final map today, we're gonna, well, not today, but for this match, we're gonna be going on to Clamblitz, the Reef. A lot of people like this map mode combo. I personally think it's an alright map mode combo. I think that the Reef has interesting maps modes to go with it. Clam Blitz definitely being its best, but it's a bit iffy depending on what comps are being run.
It is definitely a very tight map with a very small distance between the two baskets. So if one of the teams ends up getting a whole wipe, that's going to be a quick turnaround as opposed to something like Tower Control or Zones.
Definitely. Clam Blitz also leading to very quick turnarounds and lead in a very short map too. It leads to very quick games that can change on a dime really at any moment for any reason.
Now, in addition to that, because it is a small map, if like in the event that both teams play it safe, it's going to be pretty tough to break in without a couple of specials. Without having that almost chokehold of the bridge, both teams are going to want to have control of that in order to be able to push back in.
Bridge is always an essential thing to take on this map for any mode that it's in, and especially on Clam Blitz where it can stop a push or start a push at any point. As we're going on to the map, Clam Blitz on the Reef is getting the overhead right now as we're going straight into the map. Coming from Big Banana, we're going to be seeing a very similar comp with the double, except this time they're switching out for double armor zaps. Very interesting pick, continuing that double zap play. They really love their paint.
In fact, we're seeing a pretty similar comp from both teams from that first Splat Zones map with the Bamboo and the Squeezer making a return here. But yeah, as you said, they're bringing up the double armor zap and keeping the 52 here with the Rapid coming in tow. But we see a quick control of mid from Apocalypse here. They have control of the bridge and have quite a few clams to their name, so they're going to be ready to make this push if they can get a foothold in.
Apocalypse is being forced to back off right here. 52 is going to be taking out their Squeezer along with the N-Zap coming down mid, taking out their Bamboo as the rest of their team is forced to back off, giving Team Big Banana a position here to push into their base, allowing them to also put all their paint on that ground, giving them maneuverability along with getting their specials ready. They have all their specials ready to make a push here, but they don't have the clams ready to make that push.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing of early pushes in Clam Blitz, you have to wait for the clams to respawn, and so we do get a few right at the beginning of the match, but we have to wait for these spawn points to produce the clams. But we do see some coming up, but Apocalypse is taking control of bridge once again with quite a few clams, and that's going to be 2 down for the side of Big Banana.
Team Apocalypse pushing into their base, but unlike Big Banana's push, they have clams at the ready to push in. Gonna be scoring the Super Clam, getting them the basket open, and we're gonna be seeing a follow-up right from Apocalypse, getting their clams in. Fortunately, the Bamboo was unable to jump back, which leaves Team Big Banana the entirety of mid to control, getting their special ready and making that push a reality.
That would have been quite the play if he had been able to stay hidden there, staying inside the bubble for protection. One of the strengths of having bubbles for Clam Blitz.
Definitely, especially on this map where bubbles can very easily sit under basket for, well, really 20 seconds if it felt like it, if even longer. Right here, Big Banana being forced further and further back into their base as Apocalypse is not stopping up that pushing power right now and just really holding the rest of Big Banana back in their base. Any type of push coming out here, especially as we saw right there from the N-Zap, just gets completely double teamed as the rest of... Unfortunately though, for Apocalypse, Big Banana is going to be finding their foothold, forcing the rest of Apocalypse to come off of their spawn and the Bamboo to move out as the rest of Big Banana is getting clams ready.
Yes, Apocalypse really putting in their range to the good use here. That Bamboo just holding down bridge and able to get the fizzy kill right over the bridge here. It's just completely locking them down, not allowing Big Banana to push in real far.
Bubbles coming out from the Bamboo right here, gonna be allowing them to sit in their mid area. Gonna be finding the K-Rapid right there. N-Zap going on a killing spree right here, finding 3 people, getting clams to their teammates, allowing them to make a Super Clam, scoring that Super Clam, and getting plans to follow it up, as we will see Big Banana switch to lead right here with 1:30 on that clock. Though it is still Clan Blitz, and just about anything can happen in that amount of time. Team Big Banana is backing up, getting their specials ready, and really hoping for Apocalypse to make another slip up so that they can get that easy pick and use that to their advantage to push into mid again.
While they did have the clams in order to continue their push there, with Apocalypse respawning, they made the safe decision to pull back and just regroup. Even though they did keep the lead here, they have more clams at the ready with specials coming out for another push.
Team Apocalypse using their slosher right here to push into mid, taking domination of it. 1 minute left on that clock. Bubbles coming out from the bamboo, getting it under the basket, though the rest of their team is unable to push in due to all the specials that are being popped on Team Big Banana's side. 45 seconds is left on that clock. Apocalypse is starting to feel that pressure as they are really feeling like they need to make a push immediately, kind of throwing themselves at the ready to make a push at any point.
Yeah, we're seeing the diverseness of the Reef coming into play. Even with 2 members down, they're still able to lock out the opposing team and just keep them from getting that score that they desperately need. There's only a couple points away from lead. They can possibly get it with just a couple of clams here. And yes, they do get that lead right there as we're down to 13 seconds left in the match. 3 members down for Apocalypse. Big Banana's really going to have to pull out something in order to get this lead back.
Big Banana using the pity clam that they had before that, gonna be picking up the second pity clam. We're going into overtime right now. Team Big Banana has their specials at the ready. The K52 Gal does go down on the side of Big Banana. Big Banana is making their push right now, getting their baller in. They have the clams to switch the lead, but they need to get in their supers right now. The K-Rapid sitting under the basket. Unfortunately, they took too long, and the game goes to Apocalypse.
Overtime doesn't last forever, is quite unfortunate, but congrats to Apocalypse for the strong showing here. Bringing back the lead within that small time frame was very impressive, as well as their strong showing on tower control. I am looking forward to see what else they bring for the rest of this tourney.
Definitely Apocalypse living up to their name, bringing in the 1-2 punch, as they're going to be winning it 2-1.
I believe we might be going to a short break before the next round starts. In the meantime, hang tight and we'll be right back. And we are back to Swim or Sink 60. It is I, Matt Gaber II, and once again joined by none other than Butter.
Hey guys, like I said, we didn't leave you. We're still here. Don't worry. We're ready to go on to the match, stream some more, and realistically give you the best content that we possibly can.
Absolutely. We're going to be going on to Rainmaker Sturgeon for our first map. And we have Skill Issue versus 4B.
Shout out to 4B for having 4 Bs to start their name. Committing to the bit, and I love it.
Imagine they had 3 Bs and just something else. That would have... Oh, man.
You didn't even try. You wouldn't even try at that point. Two amazing teams going up against each other. Team Skill Issue was an amazing name. And Team 4B committing fully to the bit. But going on to this, we'll see which team is fully going to be committing to the bit by duking them out against each other, especially starting us off on Rainmaker Surgeon Shipyard.
That was going to be an interesting matchup with Rainmaker and Sturgeon. It was quite the, I must say, controversial map with the different routes you can take, with a lot of the more popular route going on that left side there. It does have the mega points, but also the mega risk, as it's easy to defend because of that bottleneck. Now the right side is the more safer side, but is definitely less points per game.
It definitely is, but sometimes you really just need to run it, and if you really do, straight down mid is by definition an option.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I can't say that it's a good option, but it sure is an option.
It is an option, just not a recommended one. Alright, we're going to be hopping into this first match here. I am excited to see. If backline is playing anything but a backline, I will be sad.
Honestly, I don't know how I feel about that. But backline is indeed playing a backline, so I don't need to feel anything about that. Coming from 4B in the blue, we're going to be seeing fairly, well, standard. Guess you could say that's a standard comp-ish question mark. You got a dualies in there. It's good enough.
On the side, we do have a quite common comp on the left, or on the skill issue. We have the Zap and the K-Shot, along with the dualies, Squelchers, and Nautilus. But we do see the Kensa scope coming out along with a vanilla dualies here. That is not common. You don't see that every day.
Definitely don't, as we see in skill issue taking the early Rainmaker grab. The dualies Squelchers are going to be going down along with the Rainmaker, and the NZAP leaving just the Nautilus, who also goes down. That's a wipe on the side of skill issues, as Team 4B is using this to their advantage, pushing up with the dualies, getting the special ready, getting the lead right here, getting that early pick with this dualies being hyper aggressive, though they are going to be going down to the K-Shot, who is also going to be taking down the Rainmaker.
The dualies there just opening up a path for the Rainmaker to go and really putting on the pressure, taking out several with him as he goes. But we do see the Rainmaker is going to be under... Ooh, the snipe there, just canceling that inkjet and taking him down point blank. This Charger is really going at it with 3 down for the side of skill issue. They're going to have a chance to pick this Rainmaker up again.
Backline definitely living up to their name, hitting shots amazingly, definitely doing those CSGO lineups right here, as we are seeing the rest of Team 4B using this pushing power to push further and further into their base, pushing it already up to 42 points remaining and continuing that push. Rainmaker does go down to a barrage of bombs as Team Skill Issue is getting that backline out of there, as the rest of them are looking to get that Rainmaker at least off the edge right here, or maybe push with it.
We have only the NZAP remaining, and the rest of his team is respawning, but they are going to... No, they're picking up the Maker and continuing this push. Despite the chokehold here, 4B is really putting on the pressure and just keeping this Rainmaker push alive. 1v1 with the K-Shot here, the K-Shot coming up on top, and they are going to be... Skill Issue is going to be picking this up just to make sure they can't get any more points out of this.
As Skill Issue is using their missiles to push back into main, as the Rainmaker is going to be pushing up further and further, as the rest of Team Skill Issue is using the advantage of their main Slayer going down, as it's really funny to say the default dualies is a main Slayer, but I guess it is.
Well, the K-Shot here is not looking to not be outdone by the duelies. Is really going at it, just sharking around, taking out the, trying to open up a path. But we do see them having to shark over on the left side with backline on the prowl, ready to take out the members in mid. Just he's on the hunt. He's on the hunt.
Looking out for his teammates, being on that hunt, hitting their shots. Backline doing an amazing job right here, holding that mid position, putting that immense pressure on literally anyone that they see, taking out the Nautilus, but unfortunately not soon enough to save their life. But with that, the NZAP goes down on the side of Skill Issue, as specials are coming out from Team 4B, as most of the team of Skill Issue is completely gone. Rainmaker is set back to mid, as the rest of 4B is trying to get that Rainmaker popped and moved forward.
Yes, we see 4B in control of mid once again, just holding out, ready to prepare for the next push. We see the armor coming out early, so it looks like they're going to be holding out for just a little bit longer to try to get that back up, possibly. Missiles coming out for the side of Skill Issue. Backline going down. 2 members of 4B going down. They're going to have to back up and just hold out for their respawn.
There's a minute left on that clock. 4B is definitely playing the holdout game right now. Nautilus finding the pick on the Rainmaker, then also finding the pick on the K-Shot. An immensely good play right there from the Nautilus, as the rest of Team 4B is using this to advantage. The Nautilus taking the Nautilus duel and winning the Nautilus duel. Good job, Nautilus. As the rest of Team 4B is pushing back into mid, using the 30 seconds that they have remaining to just deny Skill Issue any type of movement in mid and towards that Rainmaker. Armor coming out from Skill Issue, as Team 4B is doing an amazing job holding out.
We see 2 members of 4B going down, and Skill Issue is going to be picking up the Rainmaker. 18 seconds left on the map. They're going to have to really...
So we're going to be seeing the dually squall, the default dualies DCing on the side of 4B. The rest of Team 4B might be a bit distraught, but wow. The Rainmaker goes down. 4B being 1 person down, still winning the game.
There's so much happened in the last few seconds there. Not only was the 4B able to hold out with the DC, backline I think just got a collat with the Rainmaker and with the teammate trying to defend it. That was mega impressive.
Team 4B, even though they're 1 down, I mean, I don't know. They can probably replay it. It's fine. It's only a DC. The 4B can replay it. And the room has just died, as we're gonna be going back a little bit just to, well, wait for them to remake it. Very interesting play from 4B, really playing mind games right now, trying to completely zone Skill Issue out by really just getting in their head and playing the mind games.
Now, unfortunately, normally that wouldn't be a replay because it was past the 50 mark, but because 4B was the one that DC'd and the won the match, I would say that went in their favor. Next up, we have Splatzone's Humpback coming up. This is going to be an interesting matchup with the weapons we've seen so far. I fully expect to see the Nautilus returning. Probably not the scope, but I could be wrong. Because of the unusual terrain of Humpback, the Charger may or may not be well suited for this. But again, we shall see. I'm very excited to see what is coming up next.
Especially for Humpback pump track zones, a personal favorite comp of mine is running the Bronze Aerospray. Getting that Booyah Bomb and just completely nuking zone is realistically a very viable play, especially with the amount of paint that you can just get down using it. I'm not chilling for it, but like, mad props to anyone that plays it on this map.
Absolutely. And I agree, having that Booyah Bomb on hand is going to be super helpful for this particular map mode. With the single zone and the hilly terrain, the unusual nature of the Booyah Bomb definitely will be coming in handy for both the pressure and the paint.
Extremely. Double that if they are running double Booyah Bomb. A coordinated double Booyah Bomb can instantly flip zone if players are coordinated enough to do so. And Rain, especially on this map, being able to completely deny zone extremely quickly and even pushing further back into their mid area, forcing the rest of their team to either go up to snipe, which can easily be bombed out, or face the consequences of sitting in Rain.
Yes, indeed. And another key aspect of this map is pretty much the entire map is accessible from both sides. Therefore, spawn camping will be something to look out for. Skilled teams would be able to hold the enemy team within their plat, but equally strong teams will be able to break out of it without any trouble.
Definitely, as it really takes a really good push to get into the drop-off area for Humpback Pump Track, but if a team can get up there, the devastation is immense, especially if the team can get their backline up there. There's very few things that a team can do to delodge them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Looks like we're going to be hopping into the second match, Zones on Humpback Pump Track. For our team lineup, we have a pretty similar lineup for Skill Issue, but we see a Hydra coming out for the side of 4B.
And the Hydra isn't even backline. His backline is running the Bob Lobber. A very interesting pick. One Booyah Bomb coming out from Team Skill Issue. We'll see how well they put it to use, as the Bob Lobber is going down on the side of 4B, as the rest of Skill Issue is using this to their advantage to push into mid, take that zone, and really just continue this push, getting their special ready, getting those necessary picks, forcing Team 4B to back off and play defensively.
We see the 52 here really making use of that alleyway, getting up underneath the bunker, putting on the pressure for that longer range weapons. But we do see 4B able to hold the zone before they go 3 members down, and the Booyah is going to be coming out to try to take out the last remaining member.
Team Skill Issue currently resides over the zone, breaking their own penalty, as they are really doing an amazing job at using their specials, their bombs, everything to their disposal to keep Team 4B stuck behind lines. Though their NZAP does go down, allowing the rest of Team 4B to push back into mid, getting those 2 essential picks on the NZAP and the 52 gal. Though the K-Shot gets a bit too aggressive and goes down for the other K-Shot on Team Skill Issue. Inkjet and Missiles getting popped by Skill Issue, as the K-Shot is going on a double kill, looking for that triple in the knot, though the Hydra is looking over that knot, not allowing the knot to not kill.
The Hydra Guardian Angel really putting in the pressure here with that extended range from bunker. He can breach pretty much everywhere on the map, just really putting on the pressure for the teammates. However, we do see that 52 coming in from that street area once again, taking out the Hydra, and Skill Issue just holding on the zone, taking down their penalty here.
Team 4B once again in control of the zone, forcing Team Skill Issue to use their specials. Inkjet and Armor coming out at a very crucial time, forcing Team 4B to scatter around as the rest of Skill Issue funnels back into mid, finding the essential pick on the Bob Lobber, as the rest of Team 4B is forced back into their base, going off of respawns. Time is ticking away as lead is about to change, as it does so right now, right before they switch the zone. Very unfortunate for 4B, as the K-Shot is doing an amazing job sharking, finding the other K-Shot, putting the rest of Team 4B into chaotic spiral, as the Bob Lobber goes down mid special, and 4B is currently trying to desperately take zone back. Unfortunately for them, Skill Issue is doing an amazing job holding that mid position, getting that zone painted, and using their painting power to their advantage.
Yes, the triple shooters and the triple suction bombs, I might add, are really coming into play here, holding onto that zone as they take through their penalty. 4B is not able to take that zone. However, the Hydra is able to get a pick off the NZAP, and that's just enough to be able to turn the tables and get that zone back.
The Hydra doing a very aggressive play, putting their Inklings on the field as they are forced onto the right snipe as the rest of Skill Issue pushes back into mid, taking that zone once again and really forcing 4B to be constantly on the aggressive side, as if they aren't, Skill Issue can easily hold a position extremely well. Skill Issue right here coming in, painting over that zone, forcing the rest of 4B to back off or be painted around. The Not doing amazing job sitting in mid, not allowing either the as the Inkjet comes out, taking out the Bob Lover and going in, forcing the Hydra to jump out. With 1 minute remaining, Skill Issue is doing an amazing job.
That was quite the pick from the Inkjet on the Blob Bobber, one of their main sources of paint, and we do see 2 more members of 4B going down. 10 seconds on the clock for the points. Looks like it's going to be another knockout for Skill Issue. Unless 4B has anything to say about it, they're really putting on the pressure on that zone, just trying to flip it back, and they are able to get it before the knockout.
4B doing an amazing job flipping the zone, though Skill Issue doing just as an amazing of a job flipping that zone back to their side with 25 seconds left on that clock. 4B is feeling that pressure right now, using their specials right now. Both sides, both coming out. Bob Lover goes down on the side of 4B, an essential pick for Skill Issues right now. Missiles coming out from 4B. The K-Shot goes down on the side of Skill Issues as 4B is forced to push up into mid and really try to get that zone as 2 go downs, make that 3, and that is going to be game for Skill Issue, taking their first win of the match.
That was very well played for Skill Issue there. Both teams were able to contest zone for the entirety of that match, but Skill Issue really coming out with that paint and that pressure, overcoming both the range of the Blob and the Hydra here.
Definitely a very interesting pick with the Bob Lobber, and it's very questionable whether or not it did work out or not. The paint was immensely good, but it really made them lack with killing power.
It was definitely an odd combination, having not only the Blob, but paired it with the Hydra and the Knot, 2 charge-based weapons. They were really, I would say, they were pretty outpainted for the majority of that match, having that not only the triple bomb, but also the triple shooter, just able to hide behind that hump there and just paint over the wall to keep that zone in control.
Really good plays from both teams. But going on to our next match, we have Manta Maria on tower control, which for both teams could realistically go either way, with the immense abilities, open side of mid for Manta Marina. It could really allow for the heavy painting power of Team Skill Issue. I forgot their name. How can I forget a name like that? For Team Skill Issue to really get that mid control and get their early specials out and just deny Team 4B from getting paint. But on the other hand, 4B could have an amazing job with their pushing power and raw killing power just alone and really take that mid control.
Yes, indeed. Mid control is going to be a key aspect of this map mode. For tower control in any map is very much a game of momentum if you're able to push with the tower and just keep that momentum going. But especially for Manta Maria, because of that chokehold in street with the checkpoint right up against that wall there, it is very difficult in order to get past that checkpoint with the amount of defensive bombs and other defensive weapons coming over that wall.
As a very similar comp coming out from, only Skill Issue, as Team 4B completely overhauls their comp except for that Hydra, as Team Skill Issue is getting really clamped up. Their K52 gal goes down to the Tri-Slosh. Tri-Slosh goes down to 2 players on Skill Issue as 4B takes that early tower and almost barely doesn't push it to first checkpoint. The NZAP is going to be finding that mini Splatling in mid, but is going to be going down to a well-placed ink mine as the rest of Team 4B is pushing back into mid.
Yes, indeed. Skill Issue keeping with that tried and true comp, and as you said, we have a double armor and a double missile with the dualies and the mini, as well as the addition of the Tri-Slosher. going to be interesting to see how this goes down. But I do say that the Hydra is an excellent pick for the Manta Maria. Having control of that mid area is going to be a breeze with that extra range it's got.
Skill issue using their Booyah Bomb to a perfect effect right there, forcing the Hydra on Team 4B to completely back off from their push, allowing them to not only take lead but take the first checkpoint. Inkjet coming out from the Nautilus as Armor is coming out to support that Inkjet. Tri-Slosh going for that tower, gonna be going down though as two go down on both sides. Heavy losses from both. It's just the end zap on the side of Skill issue as they're forced back into mid, going down, leaving Team 4B completely open for mid and allowing them to get their special ready and push right into the enemy base.
Yeah, unfortunately, they were able to keep that momentum going for the good half of that push there, but unfortunately, they reached the difficult bit of the push. The Hydra just making short work of the Tower Rider, and the Burst Bombs coming in to finish off the remaining player. Now we see 4B attempting to make a push of their own, pushing up that right side there. With a very good Booyah Bomb placement, just denying them the access to that left side, taking out a player with it. But we do see them going down to the Hydra.
As we've seen Team 4B taking that top mid control, which is essentially perfect for them, especially with that Hydra. Though the Hydra is going to be going down to the K-Shot, the dualies are engaged with the K-Shot. A full wipe on the side of 4B. Skill issue using this to their advantage, pushing into their platform, using getting all of their paint on the ground. Specials ready. Immensely good kill power right there, and amazing push as they are continuing it with missiles. Tri-Slosh trying to get people off the tower, doing so successfully, but going down to a well-placed bomb. Booyah Bomb onto the tower, allowing Team Skill Issue to push even further.
That four down right there was a big moment for Skill Issue here, but unfortunately they do go 3 down in return without able to take out that checkpoint there. It's going to be a 1v1 between the K-Shot and the Hydra as both teams are now respawning.
Hydra taking position to completely try and stop this push, falling back a little bit, getting that armor off with that fallback as they are using their position and range to a perfect effect right here, forcing the K-52 to completely back off of their their right side, left side plat, as the rest of Team Skill Issue is not going to be noticing really anything and continuing their really hyper aggressive push. The dually is doing an amazing job right here, taking out that K-52 as they are pushing that tower and trying to find picks desperately in mid. With a minute and 10 seconds left on that clock, they are looking for kills right here to make a push.
Able to just poke them back with that burst bomb, and then using their dually rolls to just keep control with the paint. We see them back and forth control of the mid area as both teams are back to full force. I say that as the 52 does go down, but we do see some missiles online for the side of Skill Issue, and it's going to be tough to get past this first checkpoint so late in the game.
Team 4B having 1 to 2 down is really hard for them as the rest of Team Skill Issues continues their heavy push forward, continuing their aggressiveness, continuing to push that tower, doing an amazing job at just never letting up, getting to that second checkpoint once again, putting that pressure on Team 4B to continue their push, to really desperately find those picks as they do take 2 down, though that is really putting Team 4B out of position. The 52 gal goes down on Skill Issue as that really does allow Team 4B to use their person down to push in, taking the first checkpoint right here, was going into overtime, forced off the tower by missiles. Overtime goes into effect. Skill Issue missiling the tower completely, forcing the enemy off and using that to get on.
As we see another victory for Skill Issue here, just completely putting on all the pressure, not allowing 4B to make any sort of strong push, keeping the tower inside their base. They are going to be taking this set. I'd have to say that skill was not an issue in this case.
Again, going for the same old joke, hitting that 1-2 punch, getting the final 2 games for themselves. Skill Issue, as my partner said, stealing my joke, definitely did not have any skill issues.
Now, I do believe that we have some time before the next match starts, so we'll be taking another short break. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back, everyone, to Sink or Swim 60. It is I, Matt Gamer II, and I am joined once again by Butters.
Hello, everyone. We have not sunk yet, so we are still here. Do not worry. As we're going on to our first match today for Clam... Well, I guess not our first match today, but first match in the set for Clam Blitz on Piranha Pit. Honestly, a very iffy map for a lot of people. I can't say that I've seen it run all too often, but it's not an uncommon.
It is very unusual, to be sure. We're going to be having Persistence versus Legato. We have quite the lineup here, although we are going to be short one member for the side of Persistence. I have been told that their usual support player, Stormy, is currently TOing and thus cannot play today, so we'll have a different lineup for this match.
Shame on you. How dare you do what everyone wants you to do instead of having fun and playing the game. As we're really fun. Honestly, Persistence is a really great name, and I'm really hoping to see that they persist with, well, either their pushes or with anything else they do, whether it be painting or whatever gimmick or fun idea they have.
Indeed. We are going to be hopping into this first match. Once again, Clam Blitz on Piranha Pit. It is flat and open. It is very flat and open. I think distance is definitely going to be there between the baskets. Again, we have a lot of distance between the baskets.
As a very, normal comp coming out from Team Legato with fairly also standard comp for this match coming out from Persistence. Persistence going the long-ranged option as Legato is going very close range and close corners. Legato taking their 52 down to start the match as Team Persistence is persisting in mid as they are continuing to put paint on that ground and go really aggressive with that brush play.
Yeah, they are indeed going for the long range here with both the double squelchers and the double missiles with some armor on the 96 there. We do see Legato is going to be breaking out, or attempting to break out, as that brush is going to make short work of that end-zap. Taking on one more, that's going to be 3 down for Legato, and points are going to be on the board soon.
As Team Persistence is grabbing that Super Clam, putting it in with their brush, doing an amazing job using their armor to take out enemies in front of them. The dually squelchers going amazing right here, pushing, hitting 2, though unfortunately for Persistence, their Persistence was too much as Legato gets an easy double kill on them, as that allows them to directly push back into mid, using their specials and everything, going in for that push. Amazing counter push right here as they are getting under their basket. Not going to be finding a pick though, as 2 go down on the side of Legato as Persistence is pushing against them.
Yes, indeed. There's going to be a stall push there with some clams do spawn here, so they're going to be able to pick those up, but they're going to have to regroup as we do see the arm coming out and the Nautilus going down.
Team Persistence grabbing their clams and getting ready for that push. With only the bucket remaining, they had the openness and ability to make that push. With the slosh being forced back behind their base, they're open to the clam, grabbing it in there, getting the second score of the game. As 2 go down on the side of Legato, Persistence is doing an amazing job at just keeping the basket open and keeping that pressure on, getting clams into that basket. They are doing an amazing job at persisting under the basket and really just denying Legato from getting their back in under their basket.
With down to 20 points remaining for the side of Persistence, the brush is going to be hopping out, placing those beacons, and that's going to be the end of their push for the time being. Very strong to be sure, with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left.
A very interesting play with the brush, running super beacons and being able to jump out at any point in time. Really fun gimmick and a really great play from them right here. Bria Bomb coming out from the side of Legato as Team Persistence is forced back into their base. Armor coming out from Legato, Booyah Bomb coming out from Legato. The amount of pushing power that they have right now is immense. They're getting that Super Clam into that basket and forcing Team Persistence to back off is what should have happened, but Persistence presiding against them, getting the quad right here going and pushing against Legato, getting them back into their base and keeping Legato on the defensive, never letting up.
This is looking super scary for Legato here because they had the 22 clams before the push even started, and now with an extra pity clam in the mix, they're going to be very close to knocking this out.
Persistence, living up to their name and persisting on the offensive, getting that KO for the first game.
A very strong showing, to be sure. Both teams putting in a lot of good plays there with... Yeah, it was a very strong showing.
As we're going into our second map for Rainmaker on Snapper Canal, we are just playing back-to-back interesting maps. A very open map and a lot of, honestly, a really good map in general. Especially on Clam Blitz, but we're not playing Clam Blitz right now, we're playing Rainmaker, which is a very interesting mode for this map. It's definitely not its worst, but it is a little bit worse, in my opinion, than Clam Blitz.
Interesting.
But this is also coming from a person who really loves Clam Blitz as a mode, so I might be a tad bit biased, only a tad bit.
Hey, I will take clams over Rainmaker any day.
Glad to see I have a like-minded individual talking to me. As we're going into the match right now, it's going to be very interesting to see if Persistence continues their hyper-aggressive play, and if Legato can adjust for that and find a way to stop them from going constantly aggro.
We see some pretty similar comps coming out. The Jet there, not surprisingly, swapping from missiles to that Stingray, but not a Stingray to be found on the side of Legato. It's going to be interesting to see. Stingray popping out already. K-Shot going down. Looking for that one more, but not quite able to get it, but they are going to be able to get the pop on the Rainmaker here.
As the C-Jet taking a very aggressive stance in mid, forcing most of Team Legato to back off, using that brush as their second killing power, getting the triple kill for Legato right here, as Persistence is using the 3 down to make a push. C-Jet is getting their special ready to really go off. The Soda Slosher getting the kill on the other Slosher, Ray going off, though it is not enough to save the Rainmaker from dying, as the rest of Team Legato is forcing Team Persistence back into their plat area, as the rest of them are grabbing their specials, pushing in with that, and trying to find a pick right here just so that they can use that to push.
And we see Legato coming out, able to stop that Rainmaker push. 2 down for the side of Persistence, and just putting on a lot of pressure on the right side of the map. Looks like they're going to be able to get the pop, possibly, but 2 members of Legato go down in return. Persistence able to put on some more pressure and some paint in the middle of this map here.
As Legato and Persistence are both looking for that essential pick to make that push, Legato picking up that Rainmaker, going for that early pickup, as the Soda Slosh using their special, going 3 down on the side of Persistence. Legato allowing themselves in amazing position to make that push, though Persistence doing an amazing job with their special, getting 2 kills with the Ray, doing an outstanding Ray right now, as the C-Jet is just continuing their aggressive and stopping Legato from pushing into mid and even remotely close to that Rainmaker.
While the 3 down would have been certainly helpful for that push, the remaining player was quite the crucial one with that Stingray ready to counter that Rainmaker push here. We do see it ready to hop back with another Stingray coming out, but they are going to be getting the lead here, coming up that wall there.
As Team Persistence does an amazing job holding back Legato, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to completely stop that push, as Team Persistence is grabbing the Rainmaker and jumping it into the water, putting it back into mid, and allowing the rest of their team to come back and wait for that push.
See some more bucket-on-bucket violence over on the left. Soda taking out the other Slosher. Bombs are going to be putting on a lot of pressure there, just keeping them out of that street area. Once again, going to be taking it to the left side as missiles come out. They're really going to have to take out that jet before they can get that ray if they want to do any more points on the board.
The brush going down to the Rainmaker as the bucket is looking for that pick on the Rainmaker or for the other bucket, as the other buckets are dueling again, as the Soda Slosher is going to be kicking the bucket, as that is going to allow Persistence to not only pick up Rainmaker but get their specials and make an amazing push right here.
We see another push up that left side here. Just because of the respawn, it is going to be rather difficult trying to get the points through mid. So they're playing it safe, taking control of that corner, taking down the bucket with them, and just the missiles coming out along with the armor.
The Junior is going to be going down to the missiles as the Rainmaker is making a push, taking the lead and continuing to go as Team Persistence is persisting on that push, getting it all the way up to 19, not fearing any of the enemies taking them down. As 1 minute is on that clock, Team Legato definitely needs to make a really aggressive push here or force losing the match right now, as the rest of them are getting their specials and looking for that opening that they can take, trying to find that essential pick. Brush is noticing the knot, taking him down as the Junior goes down on the side of Persistence.
We see a 2v2 situation here with that jet ready to stop any sort of push here. 30 seconds left on the map. It's going to be a tough one if they're going to want to get this lead back here. Stingray popping out, taking out the Rainmaker. Missile's going to be pushing that Junior up front, but he's going to be getting some armor of his own to just keep that push from happening.
The Soda Slosher, seeing that Junior taking way too aggressive of a spot, taking them out for that Rainmaker, is going to be picked up once again by Legato. Seeing that they're 2 down on the side of Persistence, they are making their push right now, continuing to go, noticing the missiles are coming from behind, using that to their advantage, though they make the push a bit too soon and go down at the 19 point, 1 point away from switching lead.
Wow, that was such a close play there. You hate to see it, but very well done for the side of Persistence and keeping hold of that lead. And that's going to be match number 2 going for Persistence.
Persistence taking 2 maps, but Legato, keep your head held high. We're going on to Wahoo World Zones. You can still take the point here, especially since, well, it's a crowd favorite. Everyone knows it. The tent-loving map.
The one map, or the one mode where the bridges never close.
Also the only map to have a circle-based zone.
Indeed, indeed.
All the other ones are plebeious raw squareoids compared to the ultimate being of pure roundness that is the circle.
Quite so, and we will be seeing... You know what? I do not know what we'll be seeing. We have seen that Squelcher come out twice here, once with Missiles, once with Stingray. I am curious to see if they will continue with that Squelcher. Because of the openness of this map, it will be quite strong, I imagine.
Definitely is, especially if they're gonna be either Jet is immensely powerful on this map just for how long the corridor, the open top is, but it's also might be a bit dangerous of a play to go for the Ray 1 just because of the underground flank that could happen.
That is very true. That is very true. In any case, I would say Legato's going to have to choose their weapons wisely in order to deal with the extra range and pressure.
As we're getting the match underway, gotta shout out to the Chad Circle as we're going into the match. Very similar comps coming out from both sides. Aggressive as always on the side of Persistence, with Legato taking up a very heavy aggressive special comp. And as we're going to see a very early Ray coming out from Persistence, allowing them to very easily, contest zone, not take it just yet, as the Belugas go down on the side of Persistence, allowing Legato to very easily take control of that mid zone and getting that early, 20 points at least right now.
I saw the Jet come out and was almost afraid that we were going to be seeing some triple missiles and I was going to cry. But we do see the Stingray jet is the jet of choice. Persistence just holding on to that zone. Just sharking ready for them to do the drop. That is the tricky part of this map, is trying to get past that drop.
Team Legato using all their specials, using the missile, using the Bria, using the bubbles, contesting zone, sweeping that zone right now, though it is not going to be lasting for long, as Persistence is going to contest that zone and flip it right on back as two go down on the side of Legato. Brush taking an aggressive play here, unfortunately not going to be finding anyone, as that NZAP is going to be popping off, taking two down with him in a 4v1, as the bucket is forced to go down to that Kenza 52 gal, allowing Team Legato to go back into mid and try and contest that zone. As they do so, almost barely flipping the zone, as they're throwing that Booyah Bomb and gonna be using that to flip the zone.
The Brush calling on that right flank there. 3 down for the side of Legato, and Resistance once again taking control of the zone, just chipping away at the penalty there. The last remaining player is able to jump out safely, saving onto those bubbles that are going to be helpful for the next push.
Team Persistence is doing an amazing job persisting in their aggressiveness, holding Team Legato in their drop, as Legato is coming back into mid, getting the Galuga Dualies, getting that Brush, using their bubbles right now, missiles coming out, bubbles coming out, everything is coming out right now, as Team Legato is pushing into mid, flipping that zone at least briefly, though 3 go down on the side of them, as Team Persistence is persisting in mid, getting that zone changed back to their color, as time is just taking away. That penalty can only last for so long, as Team Persistence is going and keeps on going.
Yes, indeed. Team Persistence slowly inching their way into enemy territory, just getting more and more turf for themselves. Missiles and Booyah coming out, but I don't believe they are close enough to zone in order to flip it just yet. However, we have some follow-up bubbles, as well as the 52 just trying to paint it. Is going to be a hot contestant right here.
As bubbles do come out from Team Legato, it isn't just barely not enough to flip that zone, as Persistence is persisting once again, getting that zone coverage. 3 people against that 52, popping that Booyah Bomb out of the air, as 10 seconds is left on that clock, as Legato is in full desperation, Ray coming out, and there's not much they can do about that.
Persistence once again taking the match. That's going to be 3-0 for the side of Persistence. Very well done for Legato. They put up a heck of a fight, almost getting the zone in the last seconds there.
Very unfortunate for them. Really didn't capture that card, especially not on that mid. But they put up a hell of a fight, and Persistence doing an amazing job at just, well, persisting, as their name entails, holding that mid position, holding underneath their base, just never letting up the aggression and keeping Legato on the defensive.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, that is going to be the end of our group stages. We're going to be going on to our top cut, I believe our semifinals. For now, we're going to take a quick break as we set up the next match, so stay tuned and don't go nowhere.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Sink or Swim. We're on the top cut, not the mid cut, because we completely missed and only hit the top of the item as we're getting ready to go on to our match today. And once again, I am Butters here today with IMAD.
Hello. We are in our top cut of the matches, going into our semifinals. Spotify versus Pickup. The first 3-team matchup in Splatoon history.
You almost said it. As we're going on Spotify, why'd you guys have to put verses in the name? It's gonna throw me off. Do you doing this to spite the commentators? We're gonna have a long chat after this, okay? So
our first match is going to be Tower Control Inkblot Art Academy. Once again on Tower Control Inkblot Art Academy. Different teams, though. It's going to be a fun match to watch.
it definitely is. As we're getting ready to go into it, honestly, both teams, pretty good names. Especially Spotify. And the one that doesn't have verses in it. I'm still mad about that. Why'd you guys do it? We're having a conversation after this. You're getting docked points.
You missed your style points. Shame on you.
Meet me after class. D-.
Alright, we're gonna be hopping into this first match up. Any expectations on what we'll be seeing comp-wise?
Well, judging by Spotify, as we're going off the top 100 hits, you know, you gotta see some paint on the ground. Gotta get those beats going. As I was just about to say, I was really hoping for a light Tetra Dualies as they immediately come out. Well, actually, there's a dark Tetra Dualies. Color blindness, it happens. As we're going on to the match, a very aggressive comp from both teams. Very little range, but extremely high painting and extremely high killing power from both sides.
We have half the same comp, as it were, with both the Splash and the K-Shot on both teams. However, we have a slightly different armor pick as well as a extra Slayer. As you said, the dark, or let's say the light Tetradulies versus the Tenatech.
As both of the K-Shot and the other T-Tech are battling it out in mid, as the team Pickup versus Pickup is going to be coming out on top, as Spotify is going to be put on the back burner, going to be put on pause, if one might say, as the rest of team Pickup versus Pickup is getting into there. They're doing an amazing job, even though they're trying to verse each other. Unfortunately, they fought each other a little too much and went down completely, as Spotify is going to be pushing into their base and making them listen to the top 100 hits, which includes Burst Bomb, and Armor.
And a very impressive showing in this beginning of this match. Spotify taking on the double team combo with Pickup versus Pickup, and they are going to be taking on that second gem point as 3 members of Pickup is down.
Spotify getting past the second checkpoint, going in further and further, listening to some sweet beats right now, though the Dark Tetra Dually is going to be going down, as the tower is going to be forced to be hopped off just for a tad second, though, as Team Spotify going to be listening to their favorite album called Armor with Bombs as they get onto tower with it. Fortunately for them, they aren't going to be able to push tower far enough back or far enough forward to get past the third checkpoint, but 13 points remaining is nothing to scoff at.
No, sir. It is going to be a tough point to come back from. And we see a lot of orange coming back out, but the Tetra Dualies are going to be respawning here. 1 member for both, 2 members for Spotify are down, so this might be an opportunity for Pickup to push in on their own. However, we do see the splashdown jump coming in with a splat to but they're going to be going down quite quickly.
As Pickup versus Pickup is going to be going against their differences between both Pickup teams, as they're going to be trying to fight Spotify right here. Going to go down. Spotify is going to be going down to the Pickups, as Pickup is unfortunately unable to push the tower right now, as Spotify is going to be getting into mid, getting that pan on the ground, and getting their specials to just stop Pickup from moving in.
And we are coming to a stalemate with both teams just trying to angle for mid. 1 member going down on both sides. Once again, even teams, but the trade happening here, and there's just the towers not going anywhere.
Really even game right now, as both sides are really good at holding that mid position and keeping each other out with their hyper aggressive bombs coming out from both sides. Spotify listening to their favorite album, Bomb Rush, as both teams continue to use their specials, as Pickup versus Pickup is riding that tower, doing an amazing job, especially since they're already doing a 2v2 and a 4v4, as they are continuing to move forward and get their specials off, get that abilities, and really just do an amazing job at taking out the enemy and finding that opening.
While they still have a ways to go before they can get that lead, they did take out that first checkpoint there, which is an excellent step. However, we are getting to the last minute of the game. 2 members of Pickup already down, and Spotify is going to be making another push of their own.
As Spotify is getting their specials ready, that's the Dark Tetra Dualies have their splashdown ready, as they might once again try to go for something cheeky. Both Bomb Rush and missiles coming out from Team Spotify, as the rest of them are pushing directly into Pickup versus Pickup space. The try is going to be trading with that K-Shot, as the rest of Team Spotify is pushing into their base. Splashdown getting off, going to be finding the pick on the Splash-O-Matic too, as the rest of Team Spotify is forced to back off and back into mid to hold that position for Pickup to feed into them.
With 30 seconds left on the map, Pickup is going to stall out that push and are getting ready to set up their own push as well. The T-Tech pushing on the left side, but he's taken down by the Tri-Slasher. 2 members of Pickup down. They are going to attempt to push the tower, but it's going to be tough to get past that next checkpoint.
As Team Spotify getting their specials ready, Bomb Rush is ready on the Neo Splash. As 10 seconds is left on that clock, Pickup versus Pickup is desperately needing to make that push. Spotify knows this as they're popping their specials, listening to that bomb rush blush as they are getting them onto that tower and denying that overtime. Team Spotify hitting some sick beats, taking the first round.
Very well played by both teams. It was quite the back and forth matchup with the excellent push right at the beginning just coming out on top. Lots of kills to be seen for the side of Spotify here. All these Slayer type weapons really going to town on this small map. Next up we have Clamblitz on the Reef, another returning map mode.
For those who weren't here for this, it's a very close quarters, a very small map, which can allow, especially on Clamblitz, can very quickly change the lead of the game almost instantaneously. With all the clams spawning really close together, can make for almost instant pushes just by complete randomness.
Absolutely. If one team loses their foothold, it can be game, set, match in a blink of an eye. However, because of the very narrowness of the map, even though it is a small map, it's going to be very tough to push in without a very coordinated special usage.
As we are, it's always a very interesting idea to see who picks what on this map, as it's really kind of an off map, as you really definitely need to run slightly different weapons than what most people would normally run.
Indeed. I'm curious to see if we will see the quad shooter combos again. Having something a little bit of arc on that bridge is going to be helpful. The Tri-Slosher may be making a return, but it is quite open, so it will be having a tough time with some longer range.
It's going to be very interesting to see if they take advantage of that, or they just go full throttle to the paint power and just go in with the short-range weapons. As we're getting onto the match, Team Spotify going the same range as Pickup versus Pickup is pulling out that K52 for that slight extra range, but both sides keeping on the minimum range side. And as we're getting ready to get into that mid fight and mid control right now, early armor from Pickup versus Pickup, as Spotify and Pickup versus Pickup are desperately trying to control that mid bridge, as currently Pickup versus Pickup has it. Spotify using their brush to their advantage, pushing into their base, getting that secret clam in. Sitting under their basket, really causing chaos in Pickup versus Pickups, and as with this chaos that just allows the Tri-Slosh to come in and get that cheeky pick off on the K shot. It's really good for that brush to take that weird flank angles, get those clams, and just get in, get out, cause chaos.
I have to say that was very well executed. They didn't even realize he was there until their basket was dropped. But they're going to be, once again, coming out for the pop, just sneaking around that flank there. As they're Pickup is trying to set up for their own push, they are just getting denied by their own basket.
Being such a short and open map, it's really easy for something like a brush to really cause chaos and panic just by taking really quick flanks, especially with this brush getting that 2-kill right there, completely stopping any semblance of a push that Team Pickup had, as they're just sitting under their basket, waiting for the rest of Team Pickup to come in and just stare down that brush. The brush is doing an amazing job at being a great distraction, allowing the rest of their team to make pushes and make plays.
Just running around, going in with the clam. He's ready for another push, just waiting for them to pop that baller for him. However, he's going to be exploding all the clams about, and Pickup has a pretty neat stack of their own if they can get this into the basket. The brush going down, that's going to be one member for the side of Spotify. 3 members up, but the 52 does go down.
As the rest of Team Pickup versus Pickup is, well, almost all dead, but the T-Tech, rest of them are coming off a spawn. The T-Tech is juggling their clam right now just to try and keep it off. Brush does best, going in the flank really quickly, grabbing that clam, keeping that pressure up. Brush is never gonna let that attack end, as they just keep on coming, and they never stop coming, and they never stop coming. As as the rest of Team Spotify is jumping in, keeping up that aggressive play that the brush is allowing them to do so. Even though the clam basket is down, it won't be down for much longer if Team Pickup versus Pickup isn't looking for that brush and keeping that brush in check.
The Spotify is really throwing out any sort of comp or strategy out the window, just going for the cheeky brush plays, constantly putting pressure on their basket, not allowing them to turn their back for even a second. However, we do see Pickup coming in with the bomb rush, able to break the basket their own, and hopefully they can get some more clams in to follow up with.
As Team Pickup versus Pickup definitely did get the clam in. It's gonna, if they definitely need to follow it up with enough clams, which they do. It's flipping the lead for them. As I just said earlier, this is map and mode can change on a dime with just an accidental push and just with some cheeky clams spawning at random times. Just as you can see right there, the Pickup versus Pickup doing an amazing job at using the clams that they had to their advantage, getting that pushing power and just denying the switch, as we are though going to be seeing Spotify coming in with the brush play, getting 2 supers into that basket as they are going to flip lead to their side. Team Pickup versus Pickup is hopefully gonna be getting their specials together, getting that push ready and keeping that brush in check.
Really putting in the work here. Just went off and said, nice lead, here, hold my clam and watch this.
As Team Pickup versus Pickup is doing exactly what Spotify was doing to them, keeping up that aggression, as we will be seeing a flip, not only in the lead, but a KO to end the game! Team Spotify peppering them with small amounts of clam. Team Pickup versus Pickup said, hold my clam, and just did it in 2.
Hold my clam in this one as well. They go in for that KO here, really showing them who's boss. Is going to be a 1v1 as far as the points go. It's going to be a game 4.
At least for Pickup versus Pickup, they have the knowledge that it won't be a complete wipe. As we're speaking of a complete wipe, we're going into Manta Marina on Rainmaker. What do these 2 things have in common? I honestly don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? This is another returning map mode, I do believe. No, we went tower control on Manta last time, so it's going to be a new map mode.
Rainmaker on this map is a lot like how the tower control goes, but it moves a lot faster.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This is another mode that if you lose your footing, is going to be some drastic points for the opposing team.
As we're going on to the match, it's going to be very interesting to see as Spotify keeps up their top 100 plays and continues to listen to the beat of their own drum, I guess you could say, and really disrupt the flow of Team Pickup versus Pickup, or if Pickup versus Pickup is going to kit themselves together, realize the greater evil, and fight Spotify to the death.
We have seen some subs swapping in and out for the side of Spotify, some change up in their lineup. I'm curious to see what kind of lineup they have coming out. We see the return of the Tetra Dualies, and also the addition of a Tri-Slosher.
Very interesting pick from both sides, both teams keeping up the heavy aggression comped. As we are getting into the Rainmaker pop, was a very quick pop from Pickup versus Pickup, as though one of them goes down, armor coming out from both sides, missiles coming out from Team Spotify, gonna be finding the Dark Tetra Dualies as the rest of 2 on the side of Pickup versus Pickup go down, make that 3. Team Spotify realizing the advantage they have, taking the jump, getting a bit distracted by the splash. The splash isn't going to be around for much longer though. Rainmaker's going to make it the way up the wall, continuing their points, bringing it to 55, continuing to go. No one seems to be able to stop them except right there, right at the 33 mark.
That was very well executed, just using the terrain to their advantage, just able to stay alive even as they're trying to shoot them down over that jump there. However, it looks like Pickup versus Pickup is going to be able to stop that push there, just grabbing the Maker for themselves, unless this Tetra Dualie has anything to say about it.
The Rainmaker is blinking right now. The Team Spotify going for the desperate grab, which does work out for them slightly, keeping the Rainmaker on the side as it's just the T-Tac. T-Tac goes down to a well-placed bomb as the rest of Spotify is forced to be put on pause and go back to their base. Rewind it, baby, as it's continuing. Now time for Pickup versus Pickup to go in and use their specials, use their aggressive play, and make the push.
Missile's going to be coming out from the side of Spotify, putting a lot of pressure on that Rainmaker, but he's able to survive, and 2 members of Spotify do go down, so there's going to be a good advantage for the side of Pickup. They're going to be able to get some points off of this if they're able to survive the jump, which they do not.
As Team Spotify using their specials, using their better position because they are playing defense to their advantage to force Team Pickup versus Pickup into a position where they have to go aggressive, which they do wonderfully, finding the pick on the T-Tech as the Rainmaker does reset, allowing Team Pickup versus Pickup to pick up that Rainmaker in a better spot as they are going to be making a push right here.
2 members are just holding out on that bunker there, just not allowing them to get any foothold or advantage. Missiles are coming out to put some more pressure, and 2 members of Pickup are going down to the K-Shot. Really going to be taking control of that mid there, putting some blue and just preparing the way for the Rainmaker themselves.
As the rest of Team Spotify now taking control of mid and holding that Rainmaker hostage right there, looking for another pick to make that 2 down to make a push here, getting their specials ready. Missiles are coming out, seeing the Inkjet in the air armor, waiting it out so that they can push immediately after this. An amazing plan from both sides. Inkjet going down on the side of Pickup versus Pickup, but the NZAP also going down on the side of Pickup versus Pickup as the T-Tech is found out a bit too out of position. Both go down, 2 down on both sides as Spotify is desperately trying to continue their hold over mid.
As time just ticks down, is becoming a waiting game for the side of Spotify. As long as they're able to hold that mid and keep Pickup out of control of the Rainmaker, the game is as good as theirs, as they do have this nice lead to work off of. That being said, the Tri-Saucer does go down, and Pickup is going to be able to make some good progress with the Rainmaker. That being said, the dualies do come in to stop that push, however, at the cost of 3 of their members.
Rainmaker barely not making the push right here, as there is another jump right above the Rainmaker that does go down, as the rest of Team Spotify is doing exactly what Pickup versus Pickup did when they had the Rainmaker in their base, holding out for the Rainmaker to reset so they can get their specials and make that push, stopping Team Pickup from making another push. Spotify playing amazingly here, just waiting out Pickup versus Pickup specials as they are forced to use them to push in.
With 2 members of Spotify going down, there's also 2 members of Pickup also going down. It's going to be a tough match with only 3 points stand between them in the lead. The Rainmaker is the last one standing. 30 seconds remaining. I don't think they're going to be able to have enough time to make another push.
Team Spotify definitely listened to God's plan right there as they got an amazing flick on that player. Tri-Slosh in the base, getting the double kill, going in and continuing their push, using the sponge to get the triple kill. An amazing play by the Tri-Slosh, completely decimating Pickup versus Pickup as there's 6 seconds left on that clock. Pickup versus Pickup is looking at another loss here.
A very impressive play by the Tri-Saucer, just cementing their victory even further. Pickup almost got the lead there. They had such a strong push, but were just barely out of reach, and then it was just the time of the clock working against them.
That try right there, popping off, doing an amazing ending right there. Outstanding play and an outstanding win for Spotify.
Yes, indeed, we are up to 2-1 on Spotify's favor, and we'll be going on to Zones Anchovy. This could be the break point of the matchup.
Definitely could be. As we're getting ready, it's going to be very interesting to see what type of specials, if and weapon changes that we might be seeing from both sides. No subs at all from either side as we're getting ready to go into the map. Well, waiting for the people to get ready to go into the map.
I expect we'll be seeing some very similar comps. They have been pretty consistent with their aggressive play style. Definitely gonna, or I expect to see some more Inkjets coming out. This is a very Inkjet-friendly map.
It definitely is. I'm hoping that Spotify will be listening to Bomb Rush Blush coming out with their specials here. Maybe using that Splash Neo once again to get really good coverage with their burst, with their Suction Bomb Rush.
Yes, indeed. With a single zone on this map, Bomb Rush is going to be very strong to play against, with the only exception of the Booyah, which can counter all said bombs, but we shall see. We shall see.
Going into it, we got my favorite group of colors with purple and green. We will be seeing both almost an exact comp from Team Spotify. Was a very close comp with Team Pickup versus Pickup, with distinctively the K Rapid coming out. A very interesting pick on a very open map, and a very well and definitely great pick for them. Little Nos going in, getting that kill right there, looking for that double. Unfortunately, the armor is going to be popped, stopping them from getting that kill. The K Rapid going off, finding themselves 2 kills right there, as the rest of Spotify is forced to come back from their spawn.
Yes, indeed, that's going to be a delayed wipe right there, allowing Pickup to really cement their foothold in the zone, moving up to their plat, and just not going to let Spotify get an easy pushback.
As Team Spotify is popping their armor, using this to their advantage, pushing up as they have 2 other specials ready. Their armor user does go down. Inkjet coming out on the side of Spotify. Burst Bomb is going to be taking out almost all of the enemies, as it's going to be a delayed wipe on the side of Pickup versus Pickup. Spotify having to come off of spawn once again with so little time. Pickup versus Pickup doing an amazing job pushing into Spotify's base and just putting their music on pause, completely janking the jive, and really just destroying the mood right now, as the rest, as we do see a very detrimental zone change right at the end, right before the KO on Team Pickup versus Pickup. Spotify is still in it. Do not count them out just yet.
Yes, indeed, that was a very clutch play right there, and such a strong showing for the beginning of the match by Pickup, but if Spotify is able to replicate that result in the reverse, they might be able to take this match back.
As Team Spotify going 2 down, but they also force the enemy into a 2 down scenario. Make that 3 down on the side of Spotify. The rest are trying to jump in, make that play, getting the armor off, which is essential for allowing the rest of them to take that zone play right here, forcing Pickup versus Pickup further and further into their base. The Dark Detra Julies going and getting the double kill right there. Essential pick, essential play. Really good plays from Spotify right here, as the zone will change to Pickup versus Pickup side. Armor coming out from Spotify as the bucket is going off, pushing further, getting the double kill, almost barely not getting that triple kill, but forcing Pickup versus Pickup to back off and play their special.
Just conserving the armor there as the Inkjet does come out. Spotify is going to hold control of zone for now, but there are some specials online ready for that pushback. All members of both teams are up. It's going to be it's going to be a very messy showdown in just a moment. Armor's going to be popped, Ballers coming out, and if they can stop this push, they can prevent it from turning over, and they do. Just getting rid of that penalty and taking control of their plats. 3 down for the side of Pickup.
As Team Spotify is doing exactly what Pickup was doing against them, pushing into their base, putting that heavy aggressive on, with time ticking away, it really isn't up. Looking forward to that KO, the zone changes, and that is gonna be game for Team Pickup versus Pickup. I wouldn't be hooked on a feeling. Don't worry, we ain't ever gonna give you up. And let's be real here, it's not the end of the world as we know it.
Very well played by Spotify. Pickup vs. Pickup had such a strong showing in the beginning of this map, almost gained the KO, but the clutch splashdown was able to give Spotify the comeback they needed to get that KO back, and that is going to be the 3rd match in the set in the side of Spotify.
Very well played from Team Spotify. As, well, listen to their own beats, doing their own way.
They will be moving up to the finals. We'll be seeing their next opponent soon. But for now, unfortunately, Butters and I are going to be passing off the mic to Sky and Elias.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. I I've been your co-host, Butters. You can catch me live just about every Saturday, where I effectively do a podcast on my Twitch at Butterminer1245. You can catch me there. I talk with a few smaller Splatoon TOs, and we play games on the side, and it's a great time.
And you can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at IMagGamerII. But for now, thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned.
Catch you on the flip side.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Swimmer Sync number 60. According to the bot, I'm Alias, your only commentator tonight. I'm joined with me by Sky as well. and we're gonna get right into things. We have Sirius versus Skill Issue in semifinals. Sky, do you know anything about these teams?
I recognize Sirius. I recognize Sirius from, playing in low ink and everything, but it looks like the roster is definitely a bit different than when I last remember seeing them. And I recognize a few players on Skill Issue. It looks like it's a pickup with somebody from the Deep Fried Octolings.
Yeah, and I do know that we already have seen Skill Issue on stream as well, a little bit earlier. And I believe they did pretty well in that set. I forget against who. I think it was 4B, if I remember correctly. Which, if I'm going to be fully honest, I don't entirely remember everything about that set. I just know it was 3 really close games all the way through. So hopefully, these two teams are going to deliver us yet another really close set.
Especially considering we're going to be on Clan Blitz on Mako, with Mako especially being a very neutral map.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one to start out on. I know a lot of teams like to start on Splat Zones just for having a good, solid, neutral mode to start on. But starting on Clan Blitz is just so exciting, you know?
I think that the most exciting thing about starting on Clan Blitz is necessarily the fact that you need to work really well as a team to be able to do anything or accomplish anything in this mode. That's why it's so hard in solo queue, is just there's no communication.
Yeah, well, hopefully these teams are going to good at communicating with each other. I believe they have a mirror composition, which is not exactly the most common thing that you'll see at this level. With both teams bringing the NZAP, the K-Shot, the Nautilus, and the Kenza 52 Gal. So, a lot of firepower going forward, 4 very aggressive weapons, and skill issue showing the potential of that right away, getting 3 players up, and having the Nautilus in a really good position going forward.
Yeah, no, they're not being here in their base. Like, being in Sirius's base is really good for them, especially as they're gonna get some clams in here, and getting to a remaining of 74, putting that Booyah Bomb there, trying to throw people away from the area that the basket's in. But unfortunately, it looks like Sirius is doing a pretty good job at shutting this push down, and leaving themselves in a 2v2 situation for both teams.
Yeah, a couple of player trades there benefiting the defense of Sirius, but skill issue jumping out to an early lead, you can't really fault them for that, and they already have another power clam up and ready. Plus, they still maintain a lot of map control despite backing off from the push.
Yeah, skill issue here is they're gonna pop their armor, and unfortunately, Sirius is also gonna counter them, and it looks like their Zap's gonna go down here. A Zap trade here. But they're still gonna get that clam in, even though it's gonna mean, you know, dying for the clam.
Yeah, the Nautilus does also bring a second power clam in, as well as popping the Inkjet to try and stay alive a little bit. Buys a little bit of extra time, but Sirius has a really good opportunity to counter push in exchange for those 2 clams getting in on the side of skill issue. Kenza 52 is going to pop the Booyah Bomb, much like we saw on the other side just a few moments ago, and Sirius is going to dunk a couple power clams of their own. They're still behind by just about 5 clams, I believe, as I think that was the Zap tries to throw in a couple of other clams, but can't quite make it in time. But Sirius still maintaining map control and a player advantage.
Yeah, Sirius is currently watching real hard here, making sure that, you know, they're not getting anybody who's gonna come around and sneak up on them, making sure there's no flanks going on, and passing that clam.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to pass it to your armor player there. A lot of times you're going to want to keep it on a backline if you have a backline, but I think the Nautilus having the being a splat lane that can charge is it's too valuable to have right now, just to take advantage of the range that it has while also remaining somewhat hidden in the ink. So both teams are actually going to rely on these NZAP players to carry the power claims for them. 2 power claims on the side of Sirius. However, it seems like one is going to go down and the other is just the pity clan. So skill issue is going to maintain the lead by dunking the pity clan that they have, as well as getting a few others, and Sirius has to let one of the power clams fall in exchange for defense. They will get another pity clam if they can hold off on this push, but skill issues trying to bring players in, and they do get the clams in from the right side of the map, so that will be skill issue taking game 1 right out from under Sirius's nose.
Honestly, skill issue kept up their dominance here, and they did a really good job of doing it, so it was just really unfortunate that Sirius couldn't catch on to the fact that there was somebody coming in on the right side on them.
So skill issue jumping out to an early lead. This is a best of 5 set, if you can tell from the amount of maps that we have shown on screen. So they just need to take these next 2 maps for a quick 3-0, but Sirius showing a lot of fight. Their counter push was very, very solid. It just looked like they fell behind really early on, and the counter push that they had required some trades that they couldn't really afford to take, being down by that much.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how people fare over on Rainmaker Muscle Forge Fitness here, because we saw that, you know, skill issue is pretty pretty aggressive. And, you know, Sirius is trying their best, and it's pretty even all around. It's just more of the fact that, you know, Skill Issue is doing a better job of holding the aggression and catching them by surprise.
Yeah, and especially on a mode like Rainmaker, that usually tends to favor more aggressive playstyles, just because it's so hard to actually... It's so hard to maintain a steady defense for 5 minutes straight, and Rainmaker is a mode where one small mistake can lead to a big push for the other team. So let's see if Sirius can take advantage of that, or if Skill Issue is going to continue to play as aggressively as they have been and just break the defense of Sirius wide open.
I mean, we know, we've been seeing some kind of meta-ish comps here with, you know, 52 is Zap and seeing a ballpoint, actually. I'm curious to see, like, how much they're really gonna change, because it doesn't feel like they're gonna change by very much if they do change. But it would be interesting to see some off-meta picks.
Oh, absolutely. I also wouldn't mind seeing something like a Jet Squelcher be brought in on Rainmaker for Muscle Forge, just to take advantage of having that double missile if you switch it out for, say, a Nautilus, or if you were to just use the Toxic Mist to help shut down pushes. However, I don't think we will be seeing... Oh, we actually are.
We do.
We see the custom
that's a
Jet
CJ.
Squelcher.
I mean, I was gonna say, where I feel like we're more likely to possibly get a C-Jet with Rainmaker because of Stingray.
Yeah, I have mixed emotions about the value that Stingray provides in the meta that we're in right now.
Yeah.
But the main weapon itself is still pretty strong, as we can tell by it being one of only 4 players left on the field right now. Sirius is going to pick up the Rainmaker, and the K-Shot is going to pop the Tent Missiles. However, the Ray coming in on the side of Skill Issue going to take a bit of space, as well as shut down the Rainmaker itself. DoorDash going to pick off one, but get traded right back by the Nautilus on the side of Skill Issue. And just like that, the Rainmaker's not actually in a bad spot for Skill Issue. However, Bandy is, and they will be able to find a pick with the 52 gal, which right now is the only difference between these two comps.
Yeah, no. I mean, we see that they have a 52, and then, you know, Skill Issue has a Jet that just went down, so they just lost any sort of Stingray that they might have had. They're honestly doing a really good job of keeping this Rainmaker in mid, making sure that it can't push past 80, and it looks like if Sirius is able to just, you know, continue focusing on pushing, which, unfortunately, Palooza here takes them out with the Inkjet from Nautilus. And just doing a really good job of watching over in their snipe.
Yeah, Sirius, Skill Issue taking a really good approach by knowing that they weren't going to be able to get as many points if they were to try and push in after Bandy found those 2 picks with the K-52 by sharking. So they instead choose to wait, get a few players down. Palooza finds a great pick and then is able to pop the Inkjet to clear a little bit more space. Unfortunately, they're going to die to a suction bomb right there. But in exchange, Skill Issue has a lot of map control on this side of the map and was able to take the lead. However, they aren't going to be able to stay alive long enough to actually benefit much from it.
Yeah, no. Skill Issue's gonna have a full wipe here, and Sirius is gonna take full advantage of that by missiling all of them as soon as they come out. Getting rid of their Zap and losing an armor there, possibly. And Soft here picking up the Rainmaker, but going down to somebody on the side of Skill Issue. And Sirius playing really well around those walls. And just making Sirius have to back right off using the Inkjet. Just a really good play there.
Yeah, Sirius now actually loses another player to the Inkjet pop, and that was actually their Nautilus, not their Zap, that's the other team. But Sirius is able to push up anyways. They find a lot of open space, and Soft is actually going to continue to push up, finding the lead. Bandy, one of only a few players left alive, I believe the others are respawning, but they're going to grab the Rainmaker and just try and carry it to the podium. They get 2-5, but they're not going to get it quite there yet. However, Sirius has put themselves in a really good position moving forward, especially against a team that has to play with both the Nautilus and the C-Jet and Rainmaker. I believe other players are actually able to get jumps in on the side of Sirius, and Sirius is going to be able to dunk it.
Yeah, no, Sirius gets the dunk and puts the score 1-for-1.
I didn't catch any of the jumps coming in from Sirius, but it was really well played. It might have been where Bandy was able to get jumps in before they grabbed the Rainmaker, by having one player jump in, just back off, and then the other couple of players might have been able to jump in, or they could have just gotten someone down there quickly. But either way, a really heads-up play by Sirius to even up the score right now.
And next we'll be going over to Splat Zone's Piranha Pit. Which, I think a lot of complaints that I recall hearing about this map is just the fact that the zone is, 2 zones and not just one full zone.
It's definitely an interesting layout, but I kind of like having that more unique approach to the zones. It just allows for a different type of gameplay than other Splat Zones maps that only have the one zone.
I do agree with that. I think having, 2 different zones is just a really good... I wouldn't necessarily say a really good map design, but I think it's a really nice idea if it's executed properly. In this case, I can't really say whether or not it's executed properly, because I'm a Moray Towers fanatic.
Ah, I see.
But I think it's a really nice idea. It makes it so that, you can't just, paint over the entirety of the zone and then instantly get it. You have to paint both sides in order to get your hands on it.
Yeah, it prioritizes map control in a way that not a lot of maps especially do. We're going to jump right into it. Skill issue running with the same comp, but on the side of Sirius, we're actually going to be seeing a mini Splatling come out in addition to the Nautilus. Lots of opportunities for painting there. However, DoorDash is going to have to find a way to fully utilize the mini's capabilities on this map. And
the mini
taking an early lead.
Yeah, Skill Issue does take a really early lead here. DoorDash playing really well, making sure to try and take out that wall whenever it gets placed down, and just doing a really good job with Mini of just keeping paint. Unfortunately, they're going to get missiled and have to back off because their team is 2 down, and gonna have to allow a Skill Issue to take the zone here for a little bit. But, they're not backing off entirely, popping missiles here and keeping up paint where they can. Just, keeping their life, and also just getting specials from it.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing that DoorDash has to do on this mini, is just play for their life. If you can stay alive on the mini as long as possible, that's a constant threat that you really just have to address, because it can paint. It has high enough mobility, it seems like, with the gear that Sirius is running on that. Plus, it being a missile weapon also means that it always is going to have some value just by staying alive and constantly building special.
100%, especially considering that, missiles are just a really good special. Like, a lot of people might not 100% agree with that, but it's just a really nice special.
I think if you don't agree with missiles being a good special at this point, you're probably living in the past.
You're probably not living the current meta. Also, we just see the 52 here. Papa Booyah not really getting much value out of it, but ending up getting the pick anyways, too. So
yeah, Berlin going ahead and using the Booyah more as a distance creating tool, just to allow for a little bit of space, pushing in, finding a pick off of it, and then just backing off, knowing that they have control of that area of the map for a little bit.
Berlin doing a pretty good job of, doing another thing that 52 is honestly really good with in painting. Actually using a Booyah, trying to take out the Inkjet. Unfortunately, they're gonna go down to the mini, but the mini's gonna go down to the gay shot on the side of Skill Issue. Skill Issue, both these teams have done a really good job of just holding the zone, keeping the zone going back and forth. Nobody has really gotten past 50 yet, and I'm gonna say that and then it's gonna happen, but it's like, they're both doing really well with painting. and again, my favorite thing about the fact that Piranha Pit has 2 zones is the fact that it's so incredibly hard to just keep the zone held, because they have to focus on getting both zones painted.
Yeah, DoorDash finding a really good pick, as well as just continuing to output all this paint. I believe that Booyah Bomb isn't actually going towards the zone, but rather the other ramp. So Skill Issue does manage to find some paint on that far zone on your screens right now, but unable to fully cap zone.
DoorDash doing the thing that they've been doing since the very beginning here, keeping their life and getting a pick on the 52 here, being a little bit more aggressive while also keeping paint up, and hopefully one of their teammates ends up painting up that left zone, and they get another pick on the Zap, making Skill Issue no longer have any armor for a good while. Their Nautilus is also down on the side of Skill Issue, so no Inkjet either.
But more importantly, this is the first time that we've really seen Sirius be able to get full control of the map. They had a start that didn't really allow them as much map control as they would have liked early on with the comp that they're running. But now that they have full control of this map, they're actually able to get in very quickly and immediately take the space that Skill Issue is giving them. And right now, as 2 players come back on the side of Skill Issue, Sirius has a lot of map control to play with. And they're just forcing Skill Issue into these 1v1s and awkward positioning fights, while also maintaining a lot of paint advantage in the center of the map.
Yeah, no, Sirius is taking full advantage of the fact that Skill Issue is just rushing into them and getting the picks where they possibly can in these 1v1s. Unfortunately, the 52 is not going to get that shot, but the Mini does a good job of keeping the Sirius KOs.
And even in that situation where Bandy is forcing Frosh all the way to the side of the map, even if Bandy loses the fight, that's still taking the N-Zap, one of the better painting weapons on the side of Skill Issue, out of the fight for a while. And they weren't able to activate in time. DoorDash was able to maintain that wall and keep the Zap out, and Sirius was able to just maintain their hold on the zones.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but getting rid of the Zap or just getting any player far away from the zone as possible, even if you end up going down because of it, is just a really good play all the same, because you're distracting them from the objective. You're keeping them away from the objective because they're too worried about whether or not you're going to kill them or not. And with that, we're possibly gonna have a KO here? Or, well, not a KO, but a match set point here, as we go on to Tower Control Sturgeon Shipyard.
Yeah, Sirius has looked very, very confident in these last couple of maps. Sturgeon Shipyard, another map that relies a lot on having map control. It's a map that's very notorious for being hard to break out of a lockout, just because of the positions that you can get if as a Nautilus or even a K-Shot if you can get deep into your opponent's court, where it just means that taking one-on-one fights to break out of a lockout is almost not even almost, it's just extremely detrimental to your ability to push out of your own spawn and court and actually maintain a push onto the tower, just because you're going to get chipped from all these players as you try and push in, and you're not going to have 4 players up for an actual push afterwards.
I think something that's really nice about this map is if you have a 52, putting anybody else on that tower, and then when you get to the first checkpoint, if your 52 has a Booyah in time, you can always throw the Booyah there and keep people off the tower for as long as possible while you keep pushing. So I feel like that might be what that might happen here as we see Bandy and Berlin here with a 52.
Yeah, back to the mirror comps that we saw in map 1 out of both teams. No buckets, which I'm kind of surprised that we didn't see on Mako to begin with, but I'm also surprised that we're not going to be seeing them here, as Sturgeon Shipyard is a map that sloshers, especially a weapon like Dry Slosher, can really play around effectively with the unique firing pattern of the weapon. However, right now, Skill Issue has to keep Berlin alive. Berlin goes ahead and takes out the opposing 52 in the 1v1 duel, but is unfortunately not going to be able to maintain their part of the map. So Sirius is going to push in gets past the first checkpoint, which is really nice. And here we have the same issues with the lockout that I was mentioning earlier. Zap goes down, Nautilus also going to go down, and Sirius is able to continue pushing.
Yeah, no, Sirius is really saying, hey, we got that momentum from that last game. We're going to continue up with that momentum. We're going to continue aggressing you as much as possible. And I think in a lot of ways it's paying off for them right now, but I hope that it just doesn't backfire on them, because unfortunately the tower is backing off. Prosper needs to back off from the 52 in some way. Unfortunately, is going to go down to the 52, and 52 and the rest of Skill Issue here are going to try and hit around the map and push back in.
Like the idea of pushing ahead of the tower there, just because you're playing a more aggressive comp featuring the K-Shot and the K-52. However, it doesn't entirely work out there, as a couple of awkward fights were taken that rendered the push not as brutal as it could have been. So now it's Skill Issue's turn, and they don't have quite the same lockout setup. Inkjet actually going to be popped, but both Nautiluses go down on the back end of it. Skill Issue does look like they will be able to get this first tower relatively unopposed, and 3 go down on the side of Sirius. So Skill Issue now in a really good position to keep fighting. Bandy going to go down. The Nautilus on the side of Skill Issue on the side of Sirius going to go down as well. So Skill Issue able to take the lead. They get past checkpoint 2, and they're going to keep pushing.
Yeah, no, Skill Issue got a really good push in here, and it looks like if they are able to continue staying on that tower, they're going to KO, and it's going to KO and go to Game 5.
Yeah, Skill Issue just doing a really good job at responding to Sirius's aggression, getting them out of their court, and maintaining a really solid counter push.
I suppose you could say it is a skill issue.
I don't think we saw a skill issue there on the side of skill issue.
Oh no, definitely not. Skill Issue doing a pretty good job there, though. Making a really good comeback and getting past all the checkpoints, and taking advantage of what Sirius took advantage of them on Zone's Piranha Pit.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that out of all of the ones that we've seen right now, Tower Control was one of the faster games that we've seen this set. Given the explosive potential of Clam Blitz and Rainmaker, Tower Control is a mode that normally seems to go slower, but no, each team got one push in and decided that was it. And so we loop right back around to Clam Blitz on Snapper. Very fun map mode combination. Has made for a lot of highlights for one reason or another. I'm sure that at least some of you who are watching are very familiar with the clip that I'm talking about, and even if you're not, you're close enough.
I think I might have an idea, but I've been kind of. I can't think of what it is specifically. Is it the bridge glitch?
Oh no, I was thinking of the bridge glitch is really cool, but also not exactly feasible in a tournament setting. I was more thinking of like the triple jump from Sneaky.
Oh, that would be funny, especially if they have multiple power clams.
Yeah.
Just be like, where's X team? Oh no, they're pushing in from our Sneaky with 3 power clams.
Oh, it's way more potent than that. It was I forget which teams were in it, but there was a brush that got sent around Sneaky, and got right on the corner where you can reach the basket from, and all 3 of their teammates with power clams jumped in.
We're back to our pretty much mirror comps here, with the exception that, Sirius has a junior and Skill Issue over here with an NZAP, but both getting armors relatively quickly.
Yep, I feel like the junior has its ups and downs on a map like this. I really like the idea of bringing a lot of bombs for Clam Blitz, especially for pushing back out of your spawn. Just because it can be kind of hard, and those bombs allow you to take a little bit more space, threaten a little bit more area without having to engage in a 1v1 really quickly.
Skillshare is gonna attempts a push, only getting to a 65 here before they're wiped by the side of Sirius.
Prosper holding 8 clams right now. They're going to get the 2 more that they need right now, and then pass the clam off to their teammate to get a fight. A lot of similar stuff to what we saw in map 1. Both teams trying to play it about the same way. Asov takes some extra space here on this junior and is going to paint up. Throws a bomb to further space out whoever might be down on the plat of their opponent. As Prosper has to take a very odd fight against Palooza in the Nautilus duel, as Skill Issue has no problems driving Sirius back.
Yeah, no. I watched as Sov just got pushed completely out from their street, and unfortunately ended up in an engagement of a 1v1 that they ended up losing, just due in part of the fact that very short range there, compared to what weapon they ended up going against. Both knots end up going down here too.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of aggressive play out of these knots that doesn't always end up with one or both of them alive at the end. Bandy finds a nice double right there on the K-52. Which is, I know is a weapon that isn't exactly the hardest to find a double on, but at the same time, still just a really good heads-up play by Bandy to go and help their teammate out. However, the junior on the side of Sirius goes down, and just like that, Sirius has to wait a little bit before they have the armor for this push. DoorDash in a really vulnerable situation, but is able to find Palooza, stealing a couple of clams and getting the missiles off too. So DoorDash now can push up through Sneaky as Prosper goes ahead and dunks the power clam in their opponent's basket, and then pops the Inkjet along with the armor, so that's a really nice combo there.
And a Booyah here. And they get Booyah on top of. Thankfully, nobody ends up going down on the side of Sirius. Sirius is actually able to capitalize off of this push a little bit, getting more clams in. It looks like they missed at least 2 clams that are off to the side here. But it looks like Palooza is doing a really good job of watching this left side. Unfortunately, not making any more pushes here, but getting to a remaining of 40. Having a bigger lead than Skill Issue. Maybe not a very comfortable lead, but a lead nonetheless.
Yeah, on Clamblitz, there isn't a lot that can be comfortable as Frost takes an unfortunate dive right there while holding the power clam. Not entirely sure what happened there, but either way, it's just something that you never want to see. As Sirius now is able to take advantage of this opportunity. DoorDash again trying to push through Sneaky, looking for value with these missiles as they notice that someone is going to be approaching them. So their hopes of actually going up through Sneak are going to be temporarily dashed, but Palooza goes down to the missiles, and just like that, Sirius maintain the man advantage.
Yeah, no, Sirius is doing a really good job of holding on to their base, and these 52s are just gonna straight throw Booyahs at each other. Thank God, Bandy is able to get that Booyah on the other 52, and avoids the other Booyah, and just having to dance around the wall from Palooza here. Unfortunately ending up in a 2v2 situation, and Skill Issue is just able to paint up and push Sirius out and wiping them entirely.
Yeah, a very good answer on the side of Skill Issue. However, they're going to have to take advantage of this right now, as there isn't a lot of time left on the clock. Palooza finds a nice inkjet shot on the opposing Nautilus. A lot of value out of that inkjet. However, the NZAP on the side of Skill Issue does go down, so that's not going to result in having armor. And Skill Issue is beginning to lose other players, the 52 going down, and Palooza and the NZAP going to have to be forced off. The K-shot, not the NZAP. NZAP just gone down. But either way, Sirius defending their basket really, really well. Skill Issue does have a power clam, so we will be going into overtime. However, it doesn't look like they have the players to take advantage of it, and the power clam actually went down as they found the NZAP, and Sirius going to be taking this and advancing to finals.
Man, it's really nice to just watch Sirius grow as a team, just to see them, being in where they are now in SOS's Great White bracket. Just going from a low rank level team to this is just it's amazing.
Just very, very potent showing out of Sirius. They're going to be advancing to grand finals versus... I don't actually know yet. Let's take a quick look at the bracket and see who we're going to be seeing
It
next?
looks like they'll be going against 4 Beans here.
4B?
4 Beans.
4 Beans. Okay. Not sure if that's the same team that I was thinking of, but if it is, I believe that was the team that had a really close set against Skill Issue in the first place. So probably going to be seeing something relatively similar to that. Oh, 2 teams. Okay, thank you, Kraken. Got it. So, not the team I was thinking of. Instead, we're going to be seeing 4 Beans, a team that I don't know anything about. But, hey, if they're in Grand Finals, they must be good.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're gonna have a short break before Grand Finals as we get everything set up. Don't go away, because Grand Finals will be right next.
Hello and welcome back to SOS 60. And We're in grand finals now with 4Beans versus Sirius here. We just saw Sirius do a really good match up against Skill Issue, going 3-2.
Yeah, all the way to game 5.
Yeah, going all the way to a game 5. And we're going to be in a best of 7 set here, going first on to Rainmaker Blackbelly.
Hence the oh boy.
Maybe we will see some sort of sloshers here now, actually. It would definitely be nice.
I wouldn't be surprised, especially just because Blackbelly is super nice for those, for sloshers in general. It's just the... I'm not sure if it's a visual glitch on my end, but I can just barely see Starfish main stage. Well, either way. Starting out with Rainmaker on Blackbelly, which, as we already discussed, probably going to see a slosher. Yeah. Sorry, Kraken. We'll get on topic. We'll stop laughing at the funny Starfish main stage.
Rainmaker and Blackbelly, it would be really nice to see a slosher here, because I feel it's a really good pick, just because of how the map is... just how the way that the map is just made as a whole. But because it's Rainmaker, I don't really 100% anticipate it either, because I expect to see maybe C-Jet and some... Oh, whoa, okay. You know, I'm okay with this.
I mean, hey, you got the C-Jet.
I'm not okay with that, but like, we got the slosher, so I'm fine with this.
Hero Slosher coming out on the side of Dafter. Meanwhile, 4Beans also going to be bringing the NZAP, the K52, and the C-Jet Hero Slosher combo. Dafter already way behind in their spawn, trying to paint around a little bit.
Yeah, no, Sirius is already picking up and pushing in, doing a really good job, keeping all of mid painted, and here we have One Shot just instantly popping that Stingray, getting to take out that Rainmaker.
Oh, we're getting some hot Stingray action right there, as One Shot goes ahead and finds the pick on the Rainmaker. However, Dafter goes down on that Hero Slosher, and Sirius has a lot of control of mid right now to go down on the side of 4Beans, and Sirius, I believe, gets the pop. One Shot not too far away from that Stingray, so they'll be able to get it up yet again as the gameplay loop continues to repeat. However, Sirius does advance the Rainmaker a little bit more, and Bandy's in a nice spot right there, going to back off just to get around the missiles. However, they do have just a lot of map control, and 4Beans still needs to find a way to push in. They'll probably be relying off the Booyah Bomb of the 52 that just gets popped. Bandy actually, unfortunately, backs into it, so I believe the Booyah finds a double as Lex continues to push forward. Rainmaker reset going to favor 4Beans now, as they're going to continue to take mid control and push forward. Dafter goes down on the side of 4Beans, however, and Sirius has a little bit of an opening. Booyah Bomb coming in, the NZAP on the side of 4Beans also goes down, and Sirius has completely shut down this aggression.
Yeah, Lex is gonna throw the Booyah and unfortunately not get a pick there and have to back up all the way. And looks like they're possibly gonna get taken out by this K-Shot, who's gonna do everything in their power to take them out, and DoorDash does a really good job of doing that.
I don't think I've ever seen a 1v1 fight in that exact position.
Yeah, honestly, you'd be more surprised if you get stuck there. There's no way that anybody should leave you alone there.
I know. I just don't think I've ever like witnessed one. Like I've definitely gotten stuck in that position. But it's just such a it's a fun sight to witness.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something that's nicer to watch rather than be in.
Oh, definitely. 4Beans is actually going to take the lead off of that push. DoorDash is going to pop the missiles to try and find a way back in, as 4Beans looks to maintain the space. DoorDash now continuing to creep around a little bit. Has an opening right now onto the C-Jet, when One Shot will go down as a result. Loses the fight to Dafter, though, and 4Beans again with the player advantage and a hold of the Rainmaker. Rainmaker does go down, but it's as well as Dafter. So Sirius shutting down the push yet again, but the Rainmaker is not in a favorable spot for them.
Yeah, no, that Rainmaker's in their base, and unfortunately with this map, you physically just cannot drop that. You have to let it reset, which is, you know, unfortunate for the team's base that it gets stuck in, but very, very good for the other team if they're able to make another push in, which unfortunately 4Beans is not able to do. But I think getting to a lead at 46 and then popping that Stingray to stop Sov here from making a push, and it looks like they're able to do that.
Yeah, Bandy did find a way to push up, but was unable to shut down that Stingray on the side of 4Beans, as well as actually falling in the process. Prosper also goes down, and 4Beans continuing to take map control of mid, and it's pretty much just the end zap on the side of Sirius that's in a position to stop them.
Yeah, no, 4Beans is doing a really good job keeping up the paint in mid here, which is honestly all they really have to do in the last minute of the game, is just stall.
Yeah, unfortunately the timer won't allow them to stall fully, so at some point the Rainmaker will afford Sirius one more chance to get a hold of it. However, 4Beans has all the defensive tools that they need right now. The Rainmaker does go down, and that's actually a relatively close position to Sirius's current goal. But on the side of 4Beans, I think the Stinger and the Stingray and the missiles already got popped, just so that they could have another shot at using them again. Stingray almost all the way to special, and the Rainmaker's still not in the hands of Sirius right now. Sov actually has to back off, and it looks like the Rainmaker's going to reset.
And the Rainmaker does reset, and it gives Sirius an opportunity to get one last push in. However, 4Beans has that GG Ray right there, so they gotta play this really, really safe. And 4Beans is gonna pop that Ray and instantly take Sov down, as they have a 52 behind them anyway.
The GG Ray wasn't even needed. The 52 on the side of
Yeah.
4Beans just finding their way into a really good position, going down through alley, and just getting the pick that was necessary to shut down overtime.
Honestly, Sirius isn't having too horrible of a time going against 4Beans here. They're doing fairly well, which is honestly really nice to see from, you know, the fact that they're going against a team such as 4Beans.
It's a very competitive first game of the grand final set. Exactly what you want to see. But right now, what exactly I want to see is a map that is not called Black Belly Skate Park. And luckily we go from one of my personal least favorite maps to one of my personal favorites, the Reef.
I don't hate this map, I just hate seeing it so much. I also hate commentating it as much as I have.
honestly fair. Burnout is very real.
Which, you know, on Zones specifically, I do adore this map. It's just painful to constantly watch people, like, pick in counter-pick situations, staring at Double Trouble tournaments.
Yeah. If it makes you feel any better, at the very least in this game, it's you gotta deal with it with like 5 minutes as opposed to a 40-minute game in a game that only has 7 available maps. So
you know, that's honestly fair.
Shoutouts to Icebox. Hopefully you'll be fun to watch now. I could go on a whole rant about that, but this is not the game. not the time.
I mean, I'm curious if we're gonna see about the same comps as we have been, which I feel like because you know, both comps are pretty paint heavy, so they do a good job on that. It's just a matter of who can be more aggressive than the other in this situation.
Yeah, I would anticipate the C-Jet switching off. Just because the Ray isn't as useful in zones. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe just the Vanilla Jet Squelcher or some sort of Splatling. Instead, we're going to be seeing the E-Leader, which is not at all what I anticipated. But outside of that, no noticeable comp changes on the side of 4Beans. On the side of Sirius, they're going to be bringing in the Junior and the Neo Splash, as the Junior already goes down to the E-Leader.
We do a little cry. Ripped in pieces to all our junior mains out there.
Just a little cry.
Just a little. Just a wee. I think something that's just very interesting is Sirius here running K-Shot. I don't think that K-Shot has switched to anything this entire time.
We did see DoorDash on the mini.
Well, okay, but they've kept up with missiles, is my point.
They are continuing to use the missiles. And against a team with a backline like
Yeah.
the missiles are really nice.
Yeah, no, missiles are really nice, and pretty much the biggest counter to that E-Leader. Gotta keep that E-Leader moving, and if you can keep them moving, realistically that, you know, should hopefully guarantee that they can't get shots on you.
Hopefully. E-Leader mains find a way. I've played with some really cracked E-Leaders. Shoutouts to Yum for constantly managing to find a way to hit me, even though I'm, like, completely invisible. Speaking of completely invisible, the map presence from Sirius right now is three of their members go down. Bandy does manage to jump out with the Booyah Bomb, but 4Beans continuing to hold zone right now, and Bandy's got to find a way to actually get a pick.
No.
However, they're going to die to a bomb thrown against the wall, and there goes the Booyah Bomb. In addition, the K-Shot also goes down, and Neosplash is going to pop the bomb rush that they need to take back the zone. As
4Beans is holding onto the zone with their life right now. Unfortunately, it looks like they're gonna lose it to Sirius, getting some bombs thrown into there. And Sav over here with an armor. Unfortunately, Sirius is 2 down, which is putting 4Beans in a very advantageous position here.
And look at where the E-Leader's positioned now. It's all the way on the close side of bridge to the to Sirius. So they're just going to be faced with constant pressure as they come into their spawn. Uchicha going to go ahead and get picked off right there. Prosper trying to find something. I just realized that's not DoorDash on the K-Shot. It's Prosper.
Oh,
the Nautilus from last time.
Yeah.
I think Prosper's in the end splash.
Yeah. No. All right.
DoorDash is on. Yeah.
Yeah. DoorDash went. All right. Alrighty. That's interesting, actually.
Yeah, a little bit of role switching.
I mean, if it works, it works.
One Shot found a couple of picks, and more importantly, did get out with their life, so they will have access to this this Inkstorm coming up in just a bit. Meanwhile, Sirius does finally take control of the zone yet again. Prosper looking to hold off 4Beans by just stalling out zone a little bit, trying to work to get this the missiles up, but they still have a ways to go on that. They do find a nice bomb kill on Uchicha, though.
Yeah, they're able to get that nice kill on Chicha, and the zone, or the map in general, looks a little bit less green now, which is definitely nice to see for, you know, Sirius. And it looks like they're gonna pop a Booyah here, throwing it at the E-Leader possibly? Or just gonna,
they're going to take the lead on
lead.
this. And with the E-Leader not in the position to contest it, it's relying on the other three. We do see Bandy trying to hold off, finding Chicha, and that should be very close to game for the side of Sirius. However, the Junior does go down. K52 making things miserable in the zone. You're going to get the Booyah off to try and hold off, but Andy goes down, and 4Beans finally is able to take back control of the zone, staving off the KO for right now, but now they have to hold on to it.
4Beans does have to hold on to that zone with their life, gotta get through this penalty, and then also gotta get through another 13 points at most. Yeah. 11 points at most. Wow. I am math who?
4Beans is looking to do it, though. Lex is in a very solid position and has the Booyah Bomb to help stave off any pushes. However, it lands on the bridge and is unable to reach the far zone. And Lex goes down to Prosper, finding one on the K-Shot. Prosper looking to continue their run, finding Chicha, and now it's all on One Shot and Dafter. One Shot goes down, Dafter soon to follow. Prosper finding the double, and is going to finish it up with Lex, and Sirius convincingly takes game 2 at that end.
Just wiping the entire team as they continuously keep jumping in the same area, punishing them hard for that.
Yeah, Prosper finishing with with 12 kills and 8 assists. Or 8 specials. I am used to other shooters. No. But either way, just a very dominant showing from Prosper right at the end to carry Sirius into Game 3 with the ties score.
Yeah, no, I'm curious if we'll get a Game 7 here tonight. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on it so I don't jinx it, because I
think Kraken. I know Kraken isn't exactly in favor of the Game 7, but
I mean he'd be in favor of a Game 77. Kraken Mayor, you cannot defend yourself. You are very quiet to the stream. But we'll be going on to a Game 3 of Tower Control and Manta Maria here.
I wonder what Kraken's thoughts on this one are. He likes it.
Do it, you won't.
We can continue to put words in Kraken's mouth, and my only punishment is not getting on screen next time. So I will refrain. But either way, neither of the teams are holding back right now. Tower Control and Manta Maria, I wouldn't be surprised to see the custom jet squelcher coming back out on the side of 4Beans. Outside of that, not really anticipating any major comp changes. I think the Nautilus is a very solid asset on Tower Control for this map, because there are a lot of different elevations that you can play off of.
Alright, we see a CJ
but we're
here,
not going to see the Nautilus.
Huh. I'm not necessarily surprised. They want to keep up with the aggression, but also Booyah is extremely helpful, especially for the first 2 checkpoints, as those 2 checkpoints are in very, very choke position.
So odd. When we went to check the loadouts, we did see Prosper's back on the K-shot, and that made me wonder where DoorDash is. They're running double armor. DoorDash is on the NZAP.
That's a, you know, we can comment on all the roles changes we want.
Yeah, Sav is instead going to stick with the junior, as Sirius is going to be running double armor for this. It's an interesting trade-off. You do only bring the 2 more offensive specials, but they are 2 of the better specials in the game, and you have the armor to continue taking these up-close and personal fights. However, the up-close and personal fights aren't going the way of 4Beans. After going to go down to a well-placed bomb right there. But 4Beans is able to take the lead, and they probably will take checkpoint 1 with how much map control that they have right now. Bandy finds a nice pick and is able to pick off 1 jumping in the tower. Dafter has been extremely unlucky with the couple of fights that they're taking. Prosper trying to shred through the Booyah Bomb armor and instead going to force K52 to burn the Booyah Bomb on themselves, while also managing to stay alive, and just like that, the K52 has been eliminated. However, Bandy on the side of Sirius goes down as well.
Yeah, we see both of the 52s go down, which, you know, I feel are very vital considering their specials here, and considering both the mode and how the map is. They can at least get past this first checkpoint.
And one thing I'd like to see, that was a really nice pick up by Prosper to follow up, but they're the only one left standing. One thing that I'd really like to see from Sirius is to just fully take advantage of the double armor that they're running. They need to be taking fights together in order to justify bringing on the second armor, and they need to just keep up the aggression. Because as long as 4Beans has the lead, they know that they have a chance to fall back on the GG Ray that 4Beans is bringing with the custom jet squelcher.
100%, and I think if, you know, Sirius has definitely shown that they are able to work together, as, you know, we were able to see that the K-Shot got back up from their teammates, and that's why they were able to get the 52 to go down. So, if they can just do that, but, you know, while they're pushing the tower, it would be extremely beneficial. Unfortunately, it looks like Sirius is gonna be pushed back here, not having a lot of paint. You know, 4Beans is just outpainting them a lot here.
Which is odd, because they are bringing, like, Sirius has 4 weapons that are really good at painting. However, they're constantly getting picked off one by one. Like, in that case, Sov actually went down to the Stingray on the side of 4 Beans. However, Sirius does have 2 down, and they do have the Booyah Bomb ready, and the 52 in an unfortunate situation. So, this could be a very good opportunity for Sirius. However, Bandy's going to go down, Sov is going to go down as well, and Sirius is unable to continue to advance the tower.
I think, you know, people in the chat alongside, you know, had the same thought that I did, is that, you know, this is really back and forth. Nobody's gotten past 70, and I'm gonna say that it's been a very back and forth match. I love Commentators' curse.
Anyways, 4 Beans getting it all the way down to past 60, as Sirius manages to stave off a little bit of the aggression. However, they still need to find their way out, and One Shot just going to continue to have these rays. They're already at 5 on the game so far. So Sirius just having to struggle with pushing in between the rays and the missiles and the Booyah Bomb.
I feel the Booyah and the missiles are definitely doing a lot more than the raid ended up doing there. They didn't really get much value off of that raid, which was really sad to see. But it shouldn't take too long to get another Stingray.
Yeah, and it's not even necessarily the fact that it didn't get any picks. It denies an area for at least a little bit because they know that they can't push into the ray. So Sirius going to continue to try and advance it. They only have 3 points for lead. However, they aren't going to be able to get on the tower as much. Sov going to be forced away by the Stingray. And they are able to get on the tower. They do manage to get the lead.
Holy!
So Sirius manages to stave off 4 Beans and take the lead by the skin of their teeth in overtime, by dodging the ray, the missiles, and then extra aggression on the side of Chicha and Lex.
You know, Sirius, getting a really nice, you know, I love that. It's definitely not my favorite part about tower control, because I absolutely despise and dislike the mode as a whole. But I think, watching-wise and commentating-wise, I think that the most amazing thing with tower control is just seeing what can happen in last-minute pushes like that. Especially with how that tower kept going back and forth, with having somebody from Sirius get on, and then somebody from 4 Beans get on, and going back and forth because people kept going down on the side of Sirius.
Yeah, it's definitely always interesting to see how teams approach these overtime situations. And it looks like Sirius is just a very, let's just go, let's get it done, let's not leave anything on the table, let's just keep pushing it forward. So now we're going to be going to Clan Blitz on Humpback Pump Track. Very solid map mode combo. It's also one that should probably favor a more aggressive style of play like Sirius. I do think having the bucket is going to help 4 Beans a lot. I also wouldn't be surprised to see... I actually don't know. I think Humpback is weird because a lot of backlanes can work, but it's not necessarily the best option a lot of times. So I'm curious to see how One Shot approaches that.
Yeah, I really do hope that... I'm not gonna hope for an E-leader, but like...
We're hoping for an E-leader.
Maybe. Just a wee bit, you know, pulling it out, at least on the reef. I don't know, I really love seeing chargers. It's mainly because I don't like the shooter meta. I like seeing things that are off meta.
We get an Explosher, though. We get the Kansas Sloshing Machine. That's nice. And I think that's the Vanilla Jet Squelcher. Out on DoorDash.
Oh, yeah, Jet.
So Prosper is pretty much entirely just playing K-Shot right now, and DoorDash has switched to Flex.
You know, who is to say that DoorDash wasn't a flex this entire time when we've just been bean-boozled this whole time?
Been bean-boozled. They're on Sirius.
True!
Meanwhile, 4Bean's also going to be bringing out the Jet Squelcher. Both teams have the missiles. Sirius just has more of them. I mean, it's honestly, the Fizzy Bomb can almost act as a missile anyways. So, close enough.
Bandy.
Where is Bandy hiding?
Bandy's just in this tiny patch of ink on the far side. Just hiding.
Thank you so much for catching that crack. Bandy actually finds the clams needed off of that, has the Booyah Bomb, and is gonna get the Power Clam in.
Bandy's doing a really good job. Got that power clam in, but doesn't seem like that Sirius is gonna be able to capitalize off of this very much.
Either way, just a really advantageous play out of Bandy, and more importantly, they stay alive.
Yeah, that is definitely the most important thing.
What is Bandy? How is Bandy doing this? Double missile's gonna come in. Bandy finally goes down, but there are 2 power claims at the ready on the side of Sirius, and they're looking to push in with them.
We have Saw playing very safe in mid, getting jumps in for their teammates, while also trying really hard to play around this 52 on the side of 4Beans. Trying not to die, but also getting rid of their wall fairly easily. Oh, Bandy got lucky once, and now 4Beans is just like, no.
Alright, one shot trying to push in with this with the power claim on the Vanilla Jet Sculpture. They are going to get the barrier break in. However, they do have claims to push it off. Lex is all the way forward right there. They do drop, but a solid play by Lex to get these get the clams in and take lead.
It is gonna get shut down by Sirius. However,
oh, poor Bandy.
No.
Poor Dapter.
Oh. DoorDash, you're getting missiles.
Been a very interesting set for those 2.
Yeah. It was a really nice splashdown. But poor Bandy.
Poor Bandy. I really like DoorDash's use of Mist as a zoning tool. It's something that I would like to see a lot more in Splatoon. Just because I feel like Mist is heavily underrated. Prosper does manage to find Dafter as well on this K-Shot, so they're going to go ahead and pop missiles. Sirius is going to try and take advantage of the 2-down situation. However, they don't have the specials up and ready yet.
Yeah, Sirius is doing a really good job here, trying really hard to find an opening. Unfortunately, they're going to go 2-down and get put into a 2v4 situation here. And
she just finds a nice double and is actually, yeah, she's just going to also get the power climb in. Another power climb goes in. And just like that, 4Beans has an even stronger lead than they already did, as they're continuing to get power clams in. Chicha, on the opponent's bunker, is able to get the remaining 4 that they need in. And just like that, 4Beans has tied us up yet again.
We're going to a game 5, except this is not a best of 5, this is a best of 7. So it's possible that they can continue up with this tie. It would definitely be interesting to see if we're able to get to a game 7. It'd be it'd be enjoyable to watch.
So our game 5, we see Starfish main stage yet again. Starmaker. God, I slept in until 4 today, and I'm still tired.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I can't say much because I've been awake since around 7 a.m. and I got off of work just to come and commentate. But I mean, I was forced to be.
I mean, hey, sometimes that's the best way to be responsible.
You know, Mr. Mayor, Hey, Allie, you wanna go and throw Kraken after the stream?
Like, pick him up and throw him.
Yes.
Maybe we should do that as like a donation incentive at LTC.
Oh my god, pick Kraken up and throw him into the pool.
I mean, yeah, there's a pool there already.
True. Except just push him in.
Nah, I think we gotta go all the way and just throw him. Except I'm not gonna be at LTC, so I can't throw him. But
I will.
all right, it's all on you then.
I don't know how a 4'11" person's gonna throw however tall Kraken is, but
You've heard of Friends?
You know, I'll get Grace to help me.
Yeah.
Help, I'm being bullied without being able to say anything.
You need to go live again. Game is fantastic.
We love the game.
We love the game. It's a 96 gal. We're seeing the 96 gal come out on the side of 4 beans. Continuing to just change up the comp. Meanwhile, DoorDash is on the vanilla splash-o-matic. As Sirius jumps out to an early lead, they do find a pick onto the opposing K52, and DoorDash is going to find Chicha as well. Big opportunity for Sirius to continue pushing. Rainmaker shot goes into the billboard. It's okay, we've all done it. Soft trying to push undercover. Soft trying to push undercover of the Booyah bomb. It's unable to continue. However, the mist going to force 4 beans off the angle. So it's all they can do right now to try and keep Sirius from grabbing the Rainmaker right now.
In the midst of us all dying, we have Sirius just doing an amazing job of getting a remaining of 17 here, and it looks like the Rainmaker is going to reset, and it's going to give an opportunity for 4 beans to push back into mid, and all they have to do here is keep up paint, but DoorDash does have an Inkjet.
Yeah, DoorDash in a fairly good position to use it right now. As I say that, Dafter finds the pick onto DoorDash with the Kashin. Manages to actually get a splashdown off, continuing to force Sirius back. I believe Bandy also went down. The K-shot on the side of Sirius goes down as well, and 4 beans has a really good opportunity to try and equalize things. Sov trying to push in to shut down the Rainmaker while it's exposed, but it's not as exposed as they thought. 4 beans continuing to find these picks on the players. Map control still in their favor. The Toxic Mist going to slow things down to 1 point away from taking the lead. 4 beans doesn't have the player advantage anymore, and Sirius managed to dodge a bullet right there. As DoorDash continues to push things up, but is going to get taken out by 1 shot on the 96 gal.
Oh, alright. 1 shot here, popping their armor before picking up the Rainmaker and making a push, and they have 2 people on the side of 4 beans go down. They are really, really crunching to try and get a lead here. They do have 2 minutes and a half left of the game, but, you know, when one team has a remaining of 17 and you have a remaining of 18, it is just kind of, you know, nature to just want to get that lead, because you're so close.
Something on the Chicha, and it's just After left on the Kansas Sloshing Machine. Pops the splashdown and try and get out of a bad situation. Lex going to get caught trying to push back in, as I think some of the team tried to jump into mid. So Sirius finally able to reset and has a solid opportunity now.
You know, hypothetically, Sirius could just,
Say,
special spam.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically. Special spam. Trade offer. I offer special spam. You get the new meta.
Trade offer. I offer specials. You offer more specials. It seems like that's how Sirius is content to play it. They're just going to hold mid, not concerned with taking up the Rainmaker. It's kind of hard to beat a push of 17 either way, and trying to do so seems like it would be a recipe for letting 4 Beans get back into this. Dafter went down, is just respawning now, and the K52 was Lex, trades with Sov. But meanwhile, Chicha on the K-Shot is actually just respawning as well. So Bandy's just going to try and hold on to the Rainmaker, use it as almost sort of a little bit of a mobile turret to continue holding off the 4 Beans players. DoorDash does go down on the V-Splash. Is Bandy now in a spot of trouble? After trying to catch them off and actually get Sov, but is going to die to the Rainmaker, and Bandy drops the Rainmaker in a very unfortunate spot for 4 Beans.
I think regardless of whether or not Bandy was able to keep themselves alive anyways, the timer was below the amount of time left in the game. So there was gonna be overtime because Bandy was either going to explode or they were end up gonna go down to the other team. Which 4 Beans here has a really nice opening. Sirius having a wall right in front of where they want to push.
The wall and the Toxic Mist are going to make it very hard. Tentamus is going to drive them out of the bunker. And 4 Beans looking for a way in, and one is not readily available. Dafter does go down on the side of 4 Beans, and a very well-placed Inkjet shot from DoorDash seals Game 5 for Sirius.
I genuinely do feel like we're going to get a Game 7.
I would not be surprised either.
I mean, both of these teams have been doing really amazingly, going back and forth. 4 Beans starting it off, and then Sirius getting 2 back-to-back games, and 4 Beans coming back, and then Sirius getting just this last game. But, we're also at match point here. All Sirius needs to do is win one more game on Ink Plus Zones here. And then they can, take home first place for SOS 60.
Spot Zone's not Inkblot. This is a map that is going to favor those long-range weapons that one-shot seems to favor. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like a Fire Fin, even. Just to take advantage of the nice sight lanes that you can get on Inkblot, as well as the bomb rush that the Fire Fin offers. Meanwhile, on the side of Sirius, it's all about just keeping up the aggression. They've done really well with this aggressive comp. DoorDash has flexed onto a lot of different and unique roles that somehow all just seem to work out really well for Sirius. Like, even in the matches that they've lost, they've all been really close.
I mean, Sirius, they've definitely had games taken off of them, but they've done a really amazing job of making comebacks when given the opportunity. Keeping up that momentum that they've been given, alongside just keeping up with their aggression when and if possible.
And it's all about whether or not Sirius can continue to maintain this sort of aggression over this best-of-7 set. And they're almost at the finish line right now. They just need to close it out.
Alrighty. Oh, an E-Leader!
You see the return of the E-Leader, and I believe DoorDash is back on they're on the vanilla Splash-O-Matic again, so I don't think we see any noticeable comp changes outside of maybe the Junior for the NZAP. I can't remember which was played last game on the side of Sirius. Meanwhile, 4 Beans bringing back the E-Leader, again trying to take advantage of these long sight lines. So finds themselves right in the E-Leader's crosshair, but manages to dissuade them with the bomb as Sirius takes an early lead.
If I'm not mistaken, that E-Leader is the same E-Leader with Rain, so I feel like that's definitely helpful with Zone here.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of mandatory to play the E-Leader with the Rain, just because it's not it's easier to let the E-Leader play off of the rain than to try and find a way to take advantage of the bubbles. That's a really well-placed Booyah Bomb as well, forcing one-shot off of the tree that they've been playing on. Sirius just maintains hold of the zone, and they have an armor at the ready. It's probably going to try and be paired with DoorDash's Inkjet, which they're really close to. Armor comes out, Inkjet also comes out, but falls.
Poor Beans
does manage to take
Poor Beans is like crying over the zone, like please cap. And they do finally get it, but not before Sirius has a remaining of 34 with a very, very sad penalty of 51.
Yeah.
Oh.
So now 4Beans needs to find a way to activate One-Shot's E-Leader. And this miss is actually really, really good. I wasn't thinking about the effects of the miss that they'd have, but forcing the E-Leader to either try and play through the mist or play in the mist reduces their ability to actually get a pick and then back off. Dafter trying to keep Sirius out of the zone and currently succeeding as they do manage to find Sob, and they take the lead off of this. So Dafter trying to maintain their life. DoorDash on the Splash-O-Matic is going to find them. But Sirius needs to find this zone quickly. It's all up to One-Shot to defend it, however, so the zone should fall quickly. And now Sirius needs to find a way to continue to harass both Dafter and One-Shot. As right now, those are the two players that 4Beans is currently looking to actually make this composition work.
I mean, I think Sirius has been doing a pretty good job of harassing One-Shot. I think it's more so an issue of whether or not they can perfectly harass Dafter or not. Because it feels like Dafter's been giving them more issues.
That's very true, but the problem is if you can get the E-Leader set up on a map like Inkblot Art Academy, it's really hard to play around unless you can trip it up its support.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I'm also saying this mainly because we saw that even with the support that the E-Leader had prior, they ended up going down from a very, very perfect inkjet shot very early on.
And that is very true. It's like, honestly, DoorDash's play right now is pretty much set up entirely to dissuade One-Shot from being able to do anything. However, DoorDash isn't in position to stop DoorDash isn't in position to stop DoorDash. To stop One-Shot right now, as the inkjet does come out, but is unable to find anything, and 4Beans maintains zone control.
It looks like we're gonna get our game 7 unless Sirius is somehow able to catch zone, and they're not, and we get a 3-3, 6 games played, and going to a game 7.
Yeah, it's going all the way. It definitely got my money's worth for what I signed up for.
You get all of the games. You get a game 5 from the best of 5, and you get a game 7 from the best of 7.
Yep. I mean, hey, what more can you ask for?
Oh?
4 beans? More like 4 wins? Question mark?
Even with the advance warning, I still don't think I could have been ready for that.
You know, I mean, we could also keep in mind, we could have either made skill issue jokes or 4 bean jokes if, you know, Sirius hadn't won that last game.
Oh, God.
So...
This is nothing against team names, by the way. We love the creativity. Maybe not the length of some team names.
Well,
you
know,
creativity being there is nice.
I will say I would prefer you have a long team name rather than be named Pickup, but
that is also true. I don't actually mind Pickup versus Pickup, a team that we saw earlier, just because you can shorten that to PvP, and that sounds cool.
But for
that
our
being
final,
said,
for our final game 7 here in SOS 6 D, we're gonna be going to tower control on Anchovy Games.
We're all very tired here at Performance Labs.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't commentate after doing a 4-hour work shift, but maybe that's something for me to realize in the future. But anyways.
Grand finals of Sink or Swim or Sink 6, apparently.
No!
God,
I said 60! I promise!
One of us can't say numbers correctly, and the other forgets the name of the tournament. This is a perfect way to start off Game 7 of Swimmer Sink 60's Grand Finals.
We see that one shot's gonna switch off of E-Leader and go for a C-Jet here, and it looks like DoorDash and Prosper are gonna be doing K-Shot and Splash. Vanilla Splash, specifically, respectfully.
Just continuing with the same composition. It's shown that it can work before. However, Sirius is in a not especially good position to start out with, after continuing to make life miserable for the players of Sirius. But Chicha going to go down to a well-placed inkjet shot from DoorDash, as DoorDash also has the mist on another player, forcing the retreat, but will go down to one-shot C-Jet.
Yeah, that was a really, really early Stingray, and unfortunately, one shot does get their Ray back, just to go down instantly here.
Prosper trying to get the platform to move over to them and realizing that their weapon is just a tiny bit too short of range. However, it's not too big of a detriment to Sirius, as they do manage to push past checkpoint 1, taking the lead. Ink Armor going to save Chicha from an inkjet shot. However, just mass chaos erupts. Sirius finds themselves at checkpoint 2. Stingray's dedicated to taking out Bandy instead, and checkpoint 2 falls.
Sirius is continuing to make this push here, getting picks in 4Beans' street here. Unfortunately, we have 2 down on the side of Sirius, and Prosper's gonna back off here just to get some missiles on 4Beans.
Prosper looking to try and continue to hold the mid right now, hoping that nobody follows them up onto the fan. 4Beans rushes into mid, taking it. Stingray used to try and take a little bit of space, does manage to find Bandy, and it looks like they're also damaging one other player. I believe that was probably Prosper. But either way, 4Beans now has an opportunity that Sirius doesn't have, because Adapter also is able to just maintain pressure with this slosher from below the map.
4Beans is doing a really good job pushing that tower. I'm very curious if they're going to end up getting the second checkpoint, or if Sirius is going to make any sort of pushes here, because we have Bandy and DoorDash right here, right around the corner. And it looks like they were able to push 4Beans back enough, but Lex is going to pop that Booyah and throw it, getting a pick, being very careful not to go into the mist or that bomb, pushing up with the 52, throwing their wall, and just being pretty aggressive, painting up. Not really getting any super vital picks here, but hate is more vital than anything here, especially when, you have more of it than your opponents.
After trying to find a pick on the Bandy or DoorDash, but DoorDash is able to pop the inkjet. However, Booyah Bomb in response is going to make things a little bit harder to get through, as 4Beans has another Stingray that they're going to be using to take a little bit of control of upper right there. So that's already the 6th Stingray that we've seen come out of one shot. However, Sirius is standing firm on their defense. Just a lot of paint being traded back and forth, but none of it seems to be landing. The mist also making things harder to push through. Is the Booyah Bomb from Lex going to come after trying to force Bandy into a bad spot? However, the Stingray goes down as Bandy pushes forward. Lex does find Bandy in the end, but it's now all on Lex. And they go down as well. That's a full wipe on the side of 4Beans. And now Sirius is full map control and the lead with only a minute left to go in the game.
4Beans going down and then losing all of that paint coverage that they once had. Well, they can easily get it back. It's just, within the last minute of the game, having an armor and not really being able to push much else outside of their spawn, is just gonna suffocate them here.
And 4 Beans went 3 down as well. They don't have specials up and ready. The N-Zap is still a long ways off of armor. The next closest special is going to be the missiles coming out of the Hero Slosher, which are
Sirius
almost
needs-
ready.
Oh,
There was a pick found somehow. I think that was one shot onto tower. But the missiles don't even make it up. Dafter on the Hero Slosher goes down too quickly. They do have the Stingray and the Booyah Bomb Ink Armor online now, so they're going to try and push their way back into mid. Lex has to respect the mist though, and now they do find the pick onto DoorDash with the Inkjet in their face. 2 down on the side of Sirius, 1 down on the side of 4 Beans. As Bandy also goes down, this could be 4 Beans' chance. However, Sirius just needs 1 good special or 1 good play to shut down 4 Beans right now. And 4 Beans can't let go of tower like they did earlier. One shot, trying to find a pick, finds Prosper, that's big. Ink Armor almost online. Booyah Bomb going to come out to try and stall. Couple of Suction Bombs trying to force one shot off the tower, but one shot stays on. Bandy goes down, and just like that, Prosper!
oh no!
4 Beans is able to take it in the end!
You know, Kraken might have predicted this. You know, just might have. 4 Beans, more like 4 wins.
Wow.
4 wins.
So, there you have it, folks. 4 Beans are going to be your Swim or Sink 60 winners. Good job by Sirius, literally coming down to a single point in the in Game 7 of Grand Finals, showing a lot of resilience right there. And just a really, really good set.
Honestly, I just being able to come onto the mic again after not really touching it since I want to say Creator Clash was maybe the last time that I did, which was hosted by Off the Dial. It's been very nice to be able to come again, and especially to commentate alongside you, Ali. It was especially amazing to commentate for these teams, especially getting to see a team that I watched go through. Low Ink and, advance to being where they are now. Just seeing Sirius go as far as they have and just getting better and just seeing a team grow is just amazing for me. And it's probably my favorite thing about having started off as a TO for Low Ink.
So anyways, that will wrap it up for me and Sky on the mic. Sky, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me at Sky the Demon on pretty much anything. If you can think of a social media, I probably have it. It's either at Sky the Demon or, unfortunately, some of my old ads are at Skoy the Demon because I'm not able to change them on everything. But, it's a thing. But, where can they find you, Ali?
You can find me at alias_handle on Twitch or alias_handle on Twitter and
Twitter.
alias handle on Twitch. Outside of that, I'm in too many Discord servers for my own good, so if you poke around, I'm probably going to be there in at least one of them. But yeah, that'll do it. Congrats once again to 4 Beans for the victory. And we'll see you all next time on Swimmer Sync. Take care, everyone.